I'm sending this map out to everybody in text and in Messenger. So.
Alrighty, we are live. Uh-oh.
No.
How did they know?
No, it's me.
Oh.
I just told you to send it out.
Let me put that on vibrate. Thank you.
How do you spell Tila? T-E-L-A?
T-E-E-L-A.
T-E-E-L-A. Okay.
Like He-Man. Oh, Nelly.
Now you guys can click on it, you can expand it, you can see it pretty good.
Heck yeah.
It's hard to see the color differential. His numbers are green. So if you see big numbers, those are his wards, and they're supposed to be green. It's hard to see that differential on there.
Alright, this ambience is provided by Ambiance Magic.
Oh, we have a theory too, by the way, on that squealing noise we've been hearing. Because when I'm at home, I can only hear the higher points or the louder points of your music. I can't hear the rest of it at all. But I think it's hitting certain notes, and that what's coming through to us is a squeal. Like it's a squeal.
I mean,
it's just a thought.
There's certainly nothing wrong with it.
Because we can't hear the music most of the time when you're playing it from their point of view.
Right.
Sometimes when it gets like it's a big battle scene,
alright, so thank you all for joining us tonight for episode 16 of the World of Skell-Ghosts campaign. For those of you watching live on Facebook, all one of you, welcome. And those of you players that are in your homes right now, settle in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. First of all, let me say thank you to Randy for listening to me talk the other day. It was very helpful. I appreciate your friendship and your patience. Second of all, everyone else, I got nothing. I'm just kidding. I'm glad to know all of you in whatever fashion that is.
Oh, Brian says hello. Sorry.
Alright, really quick.
Oh, look at there!
I can hear you.
That sounds pretty good.
Must be a new setup.
Hooray, new microphone.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the best you've sounded this whole 16 games.
Well, we'll take it. We understand that we are not backed by corporations or moneyed interests, and we will continue to do the best we can to make this game as good as possible. So, we last left off with the group discussing their current plight. One of their members had gone off by himself after Covidius, one of the two Achaemens, had dispatched one of his countrymen who they had captured in a previous battle. They had taken the survivors of I have two notebooks with information in it, so let me
Give me 1 second to grab some ketchup.
Go ahead.
And I'll be right back.
of no. What the fuck was the Jib Jab's name? Bazania, Begonia, fucking Zabningle? Zonagon, yeah. Zonagon. Alright. And
Ham Santa can.
Exactly. Zonagon being a fish type of creature that lived in the Cave of Madness and had offered the group information in exchange for who knows what. But they were allowed to leave with the prisoners, returning them to the abbot and the monastery of the Blend that is north of the city. And they were given a place to stay and heal up, and then they journeyed back to the city of Tila. As you can now see, I've started creating a map. Up until now, any D&D game master knows you don't over-create things, because half the time your players will not go to those places. They will go to places that you don't think they're going to go, so you're always in a constant state of not having exactly the thing, unless you're running some type of railroady module. I, however, prefer a completely open world sandbox thing, and they just throw them in there and let them fuck shit up. So, they came back. They decided to stay at the Gilded Lion just outside of the Coin District, and they had a conversation about what to do next. The next day, it was decided that Tamark would go and give the bad news to the proctor of the main church of the Blend here in the middle of the city, the bad news about his son who did not make it back. And this grieving father reacted in a very, some would say, irrational manner, where the dungeon master would say, whenever someone loses their child, you don't know how someone's going to react. So with the charisma rolls that were made earlier in the game, his reaction was one of anger and suspicion, because the story that was told provided an out for the one that was responsible. So, the only one of these heroes that has the ability to sign a contract for retrieving people did so, and he was viewed with then suspicion by his friends for doing his job. So now we're at a point where there's been threats made and movements of oppression and accusations being thrown out with this group. No one willing to think the better of anyone else, immediately assuming the worst. And that is where we left off. And it is dinner time, and there's other information that, of course, Tamark had brought back with him about his meeting, about these other teams of his guildmates going after bounty hunters, if you will. You all do not know any of the status of these other teams of bounty hunters, whether they're looking for blood or not like evil, but maybe they're going to capture. There could be any one of a million type of ethos involved in why someone would be a bounty hunter. So Dan has a question.
Yeah, that's not entirely true.
That's okay. If you guys want to amend or add to the summary, I have no problem with that. So what would you like to say?
Well, we met that group while we were eating, those two guys who were bounty hunters who said they were getting ready to leave and go find them.
Well, I don't know if they ever said they were bounty hunters. I don't know that
they were just hired.
I don't know if that's so who that you could certainly make the connection if you want, but the dungeon master didn't make that explicit. So it is up to you how you want to. I mean, it certainly wouldn't be far a stretch to make that.
It sure sounded like
connection. So yeah. I don't want to give you free jam as yet. That will come in time. But
it looks like a duck. It quacks like a duck.
Yeah.
Is it a duck? Right.
So and there was 3 of them. 2 of them had long hair. 1 of them had much shorter hair. As you all partake of the dinner time routine of whatever it is that you would like, whether that be soup or just drinks or nothing, the game is yours. Please, and all 5 of you are there, and there's music playing in the inn, and because the Gilded Lion is in an area where you've got more money to be spent than, say, over in the Stink Whistle. So, yes, Dan.
Oh no, I'm just trying to chime in first.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me just turn this down a little bit.
So, Reginald, I see you got your flute there.
Let me turn this up.
Yeah, finally.
Want to show us something so we can see, how it sounds, if you like it, or...
Okay.
Yeah, I'll play a tune, but I don't want to enter it. Is that, there's a band playing and everything, so I'll pluck a little bit if you like. I quietly do that while we're talking. We got to make things right with the proctor. I think if we can bring Ryse back, then he'll understand and he'll know what happened. He said he can figure it out, so.
Well, I too think we should bring Ryse back in a peaceful, non-violent manner.
I hope so, but if he's been taken on by his on again, because he headed toward the water, it's a possibility he's either dead, in battle, maybe he went after Rumpelstiltskin.
Right. Well, and I'll be open to say it, I don't like the use of the poison. Taymark himself has used it on me.
Yeah.
What he just said, that, well, things could happen and yeah, you could die. I don't like that idea.
I understand that.
Used on me, and I don't think I would like to see it used on anybody else.
I do have to say, it was needed at the time. I condoned it.
Okay, let's put it this way. There's some skills that I have. You know what I'm talking about. How would that be felt amongst the party if I started using those on the party?
Yeah, I know. We got to trust each other, not to take advantage. Right. For sure.
So,
Shadrach, don't you know, maybe you know some sedative that maybe isn't lethal and can't be overdosed?
As I was explaining before, I am well aware of poisons. I work with them. I know how to make them. So hold it against me if you will, but I have no opinion of the use of them either way. As long as they're not used for like murdering people in their drinks or their food. But I understand his use of them. I don't necessarily approve of it, but I don't really hold it against him either.
So I'm just saying, what happens if we do the what if, the most extreme measure, and Ryse dies. Then what?
Then he dies.
Didn't you say?
Hold on, okay. Let's go to. Hold on, Daryl. Go ahead. Let's go to Dan, and then we'll go to Sean. Okay.
All right. So, Pick, I only used that because it was the most non-lethal way at the time, and I did not really want to do that. But that's what I deem the best course of action at that moment. I don't want to use anything on any party member here. And then Cobb, I have another question. This is for you. Do I know how to make antidotes to this stuff?
You have herbalism?
Yes.
Then yes.
So, then technically I can make an antidote, so if I felt somebody was being given a lethal dose, that they would know it, or I would be able to administer it.
If you can get to them, in time, and you roll a successful proficiency check.
And then
That's a great idea.
I have one
I'm
more
going to
question.
check on one thing.
Hold on, Shadrach. Go ahead, Dan.
And I have one more question for the Game Master.
Yes.
So, as a character, logically thinking that if I made a batch and I tested it out and it didn't kill somebody, or kill a person or an animal or something, would that mean that it would not kill somebody?
No, because everyone's an individual and they all have to make a saving throw. And yet there's no accounting for that.
Okay. All right. So that was just mechanic question.
Okay. And now Sean,
I'm done.
COVID one, or Sean or somebody over here one. I don't know which one. So COVID says,
first off, as I've had some time to sit here and digest some food and think about what you have been saying, everyone, we don't know what happened to Ryse. We know he walked away because I witnessed it. We don't know why he walked away. I'm thinking he may have walked away because he was upset over what happened to Flaggy, and he's looking. He knows Terminus is going to be somewhere by the water. He's heading down there he wants to deal with Terminus. That's a big deal for him right now. And I think he would have been severely outnumbered, and we don't know what happened. He could be now enslaved. He could be dead. He could be severely wounded. We don't know what's happened to him, but I think that what's got me upset is some individuals in this group that have decided worst case scenario off the bat. I'm gonna take on a contract to go hunt this man down and use poison on him and make it even more strong. These are all words that were mentioned by this individual. And why don't we go see what happened to the man? And like I said, I think he would willingly want to come back and explain this. His explanation as to what happened is going to be the same as all of what you told the proctor. It's not going to be any different. So why would one fear that? And if it comes down and you have to administer poison since you don't have a blowgun anymore, how are you going to do it? You're going to have to fight him with weapons. I don't see you doing a lot of that, and your shadows you're always skulking around in, but you're not going to hold up in a fight to him. He's going to kill you. So if it comes down to where he don't want to go and a battle ensues, he's going to have to fight me. None of you. Or I'll try to grapple him, or I'll try to do something, or Shad can do some sort of spell to hold him, or whatever. But I think first things first, we assume he wants to come back and do the right thing, and that he can't because something's happened. Let's not assume all the worst things, like the proctor obviously has. What a dick.
Yes. He's a grieving father.
I don't have kids, so I don't know. But I'm just saying, let's not assume the worst. Let's assume that everything is going to go the way it should, and let's go find him. He might be hurt, injured, something. Let's go do that first and play it by ear. Obviously, we all know there's a worst-case scenario. So if it goes down that line, we all know what we can do and what we can't do. Like I said, if he needs to be brought back, he don't want to be brought back, I will have a hand in bringing him back. But
Yes.
I don't want to see him being brought back dead, poisoned, or by some other group that's going to obviously have it out for him because he ain't going to go back with them. It's going to be a fight.
Right.
Remember, he's going to die. So what happens? Let me ask you, Tamar, what happens to a bounty hunter that has a piece of paper saying that he's got a bounty on Ryse, for instance, and Ryse gets in a battle with them and the bounty hunter dies? What does that do to Ryse? What does that mean?
So, Cobb, does anything happen with that, or is that,
Well, the bounty might go up. It depends on, the contract doesn't automatically change because a bounty hunter fails.
Well,
Now, but if there's a crime that's committed, it's not, it doesn't have to be because it's a bounty hunter. You can still commit murder against a bounty hunter that counts the same as a textile merchant.
Okay,
So,
well, that's kind of what I'm asking, Cobb, but what I'm getting at is...
all I know
if
is
the
a bounty
serving-
hunter has the right to capture someone.
And if they get in a fight because he don't want to go back, and in that fight, one of them, let's say the bounty hunter dies, is that considered unlawful? That, or like he committed? It's not.
Well, okay, have you ever had a car repossessed?
No.
If you try to repossess your car after someone gets it,
And you get in a fight with the guy who repossessed it, and he dies. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's against the law.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. So that would be your answer. What Cobb just said.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm not talking about you because I think these.
verify I wasn't telling you the wrong stuff.
No, I understand. I didn't think you were gonna know that one. I didn't. I had no clue either. But I have a feeling that if these other bounty hunters meet up with him first, that they may not suffer so well, and this may cause Ryse to be in even more trouble. So I think it's urgent that we get to him.
Okay, hold on. Now, Daryl wanted to say something a while back, and I cut him off. You still want to go?
Me?
Yeah. Or,
I can't remember exactly now what I was commenting on,
Okay.
but I know that actions are going to speak louder than words, making things right with the proctor. We have to work together and set aside our differences of approaches and try to work together using our strengths to find Ryse and hopefully in the process destroy that friggin' Zon again.
okay,
So that's still an issue.
hold on, Dan. Shadrach, did you want to say something?
I agree with the creature in the cave must be destroyed. We made a mistake by letting us go. It's, but it's the source of all our problems right now. But we do need to find Ryse. I will say this: he's my friend. I will not harm him. But if he gets captured by the church, I'm not going to rush to his defense either because this is all a tangled mess. And I have no use for the church. I respect what they did for us, but I can live without them.
All right, Dan, you're up.
Okay, so to reiterate about Ryse, I don't want to kill him, and the poison was only as a last resort in case if we needed it to subdue him. But what I was worried about the most is whatever happened to him in that cave, that's what I'm fearing. I think that demon or whatever it was got a hold of him somehow. So
Possession.
I'm worried that it has some influence or control or ability to buff him. You know, that's what I'm worried about. And like I said, I don't want to kill him. And I do think we need to get to him first. But, you know, the poison was only as a last resort.
Go ahead,
It's
Randy.
not like I suggest we should go up and just like try to paralyze him right off the bat.
Go ahead, Pick.
Well, I'm in agreement with everybody on our feelings with Ryse. I don't need a sheet of paper and a contract with somebody to do it. What I think needs to be done for a friend. I'm going to go find him for my reasons, and tried to help him for my reasons, because I think what he's done for us has helped us, and because he's our friend.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Dan.
So, this sheet of paper gives me the lawful ability to do this. So, think of it this way. If we encounter another group of bounty hunters and he's in my possession, if that's what, I know you're not going to like that term, but lawfully, if he's in my presence, I have legal authority over him. So if other bounty hunters or lawmen show up wanting to try to do something, I can effectively protect him lawfully from the other people trying to do something. And then if they try to step in anyway, then we have lawful grounds to protect him and ourselves without legal ramifications.
That's
So
for
this-
people who believe in the law.
I'm not saying everybody has to believe in it, and I'm not saying you have to like it or agree with it. I'm just saying this can work for our protection and Ryse's protection as much as you want to think that it's not going to help him either. I'm just trying to show you the other angle that you can look at this.
You mean what they're
And
looking
see
at?
If we just went and got Ryse and drug him back, we'd be a lynch mob. But with his authority, we have some sort of legitimate claim.
Well, the other problem is if we ran into other people on the way back, they could claim lawful authority over him, and they could attack us, and we really wouldn't have anything to say about it.
That's
they
where
could
we become the unlawful individuals.
Right. They could legally just say that we were interfering with their job and duty.
You act like all these guys that are going to be out there are all lawful.
Oh,
No, I don't think one of them
I didn't
is.
say that. I did not say that. I did not mean to imply that. No, I'm sure some of them would be willing to kill us to get him because of what's involved.
The reward.
And
The prestige. I'm sure the favor of the proctor goes very far.
Yes, it does.
And just so you know, after what the proctor said, if we run across any blend in need of help, I'm not helping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Now, I understand your feelings, but
If he's cutting off all aid to us, with the exception of you, why should I help any of them?
so
I get it.
I understand your hard feelings about it, but perhaps if we do this job and we bring Ryse back and he sees the truth, he may come to his senses.
That's what I want to see happen.
Maybe and let some of the stuff down. If he sees that everybody helped, and I, talk to him about it and stuff, and instead of the reward that he's offered only me now because I was the only one who signed it, I could maybe barter to allow the rest of you out of such a harsh, or maybe he just might come to his senses and say, okay, I realize I was
I
not
think
being
once he
fair.
sees the truth, he'll have some change of heart.
And he might if we get Ryse back and Ryse actually speaks to him directly.
COVID.
So I think we
to the
should.
church.
Hold on. Go ahead, COVID.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, what he did was bullshit. And if he doesn't have a change of heart once the truth is found out and Ryse is brought back, I mean, it shouldn't be, I'll barter with him to do it. I mean, it was bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. So if we bring Ryse back and Ryse verifies the same story those of you that met with the proctor told him, I mean, if penance needs to be done, I understand that. I was never under any bargain with this guy. I never met this guy, not the first time or the second time. And I feel that his coming down on me with this crap is utter bullshit. So we bring him back, and everything gets worked out. I don't know what this guy's wanting, but he gets the same answer he gets that you guys gave him. Everything needs to go back to normal. I mean, I shouldn't be accused of something. I had nothing to do with any of this. And I'm automatically accused of, because I traveled together with you guys, this is my fault, and I'm going to be, I'm getting the bad end of the deal here. And before this other bullshit with the contract, we're all willing to go do this for free. And apparently the proctor never was told that information, which we didn't need to sign a contract. We're going to go out and do the right thing because it's the right thing to be done. But apparently the proctor doesn't have a clue about that. He thinks we're a bunch of assholes.
This society in this city of Teal works on so many organizations and contracts and hiring of the right people for the right job, or there's conflict. It's just his way of coping with what's going on. We brought him nothing back. I couldn't even get the damn book.
No, we brought back people that were captured, enslaved. That's what we brought back.
For free, by my dad. We didn't require anything for it.
Right.
COVID gets up.
Here's what we need
COVID gets up, and he's like, I'm done with this conversation. Y'all know how I feel. I'm just going to get madder as I hear certain things continue. I'm going to bed. I will be ready tomorrow whenever you guys are, and we'll go out and do the right thing. Perhaps I'll have a chance to relax a little bit on this, because I'm still pretty steamed, and it ain't necessarily getting better. And at that, he turns around and walks away. He walks towards the key.
If and when we find Ryse, and that's the big if and when, I think it should be done with swords and sheaths and arrows not drawn.
I agree.
It needs to be as peaceful as possible.
We have to talk to him and find out what's going on.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
If I can get close to him and talk to him, and if he's rational, I'm not going to do anything to him.
Right.
But my plan is I can probably charm him. I can probably just make him whole. I can entangle him. I can do a lot of things that won't hurt him.
I think that's second resort. Let's talk to him first.
Yeah,
that's absolutely.
It's like walking up steps.
But if he's possessed or something like that, then we can't pull our punches if he's possessed.
All right, so you guys
But I won't harm him.
finish up your conversation, and the sun is setting. Yes, Shadrach.
Is there trees outside anywhere?
Yes.
Nearby, I should say.
Yeah, there is. Go ahead.
Can you read this last line?
I want to find 2 women of the night to send to.
I don't know.
Oh, damn it, turn the microphone on.
Okay. Can you hear me, guys? Did I do something wrong? My thing just cut out, so. Okay, Tom, I'm gonna go spend the night in the tree. I don't want to stay in the room.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast a spell when I get out there.
Well, okay. You go out there and you find a tree, and then what?
I cast Goodberry and fill my pouch with as many Goodberries as I can get. Which I think is... Hang on here. Good berries.
You may have to,
I can get...
You may have to find the berries. What does the spell say about that?
Oh, I'm looking up here.
You find a bush with berries and then bless them, basically.
Okay, Reggie, do you do anything that I need to be aware of before going to bed?
Do the
Freshly
market,
picked
does the
elderberries is all I
market
need.
stay open after dark, or no? Everything shuts up.
Correct. Everything,
Okay.
once the sun goes down, that bell goes off and that's it.
I finish my dinner and I go to bed.
All right.
Can I find any freshly picked berries?
Roll a d20.
I'll roll for that. What's that? D20? 14.
Okay, as you go outside and you start looking around, there doesn't appear to be any berries on any trees here. You can certainly go looking and exploring in this unfamiliar place if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll just spend the night in the tree. That's it.
So, roll me a d20. Let's see if you can find a good place to stay.
Another 14.
Okay. So you climb up a tree and you try to get comfortable and you think, oh, this branch is pretty good. And just as you're ready to fall asleep, you start to slide out. Unless you have something that will aid you in your ability to sleep in a tree that is not as wide as a person needs to sleep on, you may fall out.
I'll sleep at the base of the tree then.
Okay, make me a charisma check.
The tree hates you.
A 13.
Total?
Oh, total is, that would be 28.
Okay. So you're snoozing peacefully at the base of the tree when you are awakened. And as you go, huh? And you look up, there's a couple of Tila guards. And they're like, hey man, no loitering.
I have a room at the inn. this is my faith. I have a room at the inn though. I'll show them what sorry guys, I meant nothing by it. But I am staying at the inn and you can check that out.
Well, we don't need to check it out. You need to go stay in the inn then, sir.
All right. I walk into the inn and go to my room.
The guy, well, before you leave, the guy's like, thank you for your compliance.
Check your phone.
I was working.
Okay.
Very busy.
So, pick anything from you.
No, sir.
It's good though, because I'd rather have too much of it than none.
Hey Jason, check your messages.
She's still nothing.
Okay, so I would like, okay, so Dan, roll a charisma check. COVID, roll a charisma check. Plus?
Hey, put the nail down on your,
29 total.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
23.
Okay. You realize, Tamark, that you're going to have to go all the way to the other side of the city to do what you said you wanted to do.
Sure. All right, but
And COVID, as you ask around,
if it's a problem, I don't worry about it.
huh?
If it's a problem, I don't worry about it.
Well, that would depend on what your definition of a problem is. You're told that there is a place you can go, but it's not associated with this inn.
I understand. I thought we seen one here last night that was hooked on to individuals. That's why
I'm under the impression that
she was just
you did that. There was something that happened with Reginald that's independent from.
I thought maybe they might be hanging out here. There might be one here in a higher class. That's what I was looking for. So he doesn't condone it or whatever.
There's just no one here that's like a house pump. But there's a building.
Yeah, I'm
down
not
the
going
street.
on my way. I just couldn't do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
That is fine, cop.
Are you going to go across town?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a little bit of my money with me. I'm not gonna take all of it, so.
All righty. I would like you to roll a D8, please.
Going on a date.
2.
All right. As you are going, you make it there. You complete the transaction, but on the way back, you see 3 people that you recognize as guild members. And they recognize you. And they move in your general direction. Apparently doing nothing other than walking. They stand in front of you and they say, "So, I heard you created an interesting climate for us. To what do we owe the honor?"
I wouldn't say it was me who created it, as into one that I was in the company of.
Yeah, I don't suppose you'd be willing to tell us where he is.
I don't know where he is. He left. That's why I have to go find him as well.
One looks at the other and says, "Well, that was worth a shot." He says, "So you know this guy?"
I've traveled with him, but he's nobody to me.
So you wouldn't have an issue if we brought him in by any means necessary?
You know how I have feelings. I believe everybody should be brought in alive so that they could have their chance in court. That's why I do the way I do.
Fair enough.
Everybody knows how I feel.
Fair enough. Well, good luck to you. Any successful job is good for our guild house, no matter who does the job. So
I would ask,
the one goes, "Here it comes."
just try to bring him in alive if you could, please.
Why?
I don't think he's guilty.
Well, we don't determine guilt.
Yeah, but
That's actually not supposed to enter into it. It makes you biased. Are you going soft on us?
oh, he's coming in. I just was hoping you would bring him in alive.
Are you going soft on us, Tamar?
Soft. I bring everybody in.
Mr. Hide in the
Doesn't
bushes
matter.
and shoot him in the back with a blowgun like a faggot? Are you going soft on us?
That's how you see it. I do what I do, and that's all I do. You don't have to like how I do it.
No. And I will admit, if that's the way you're comfortable, that's fine. Like I said, any job that's done is good for us. As you know,
Okay.
any successful contract, 25% of that goes straight to the guild. So After all, we need to provide for our own. And then the one behind him says, yeah, so in case you have any trouble, you do realize you have allies.
I know the guild behind me.
Yeah.
And if I find that I will need their help, then I know they will be there.
It's, we got a really weird vibe from the Praetor. He seems to think this job's going to get messy.
Probably will.
So our guildmaster told us that if anyone attacks one of us, we're authorized to attack whoever that is to protect our reputation.
I've already told them and warned them.
Do you remember
So
what?
anything they,
Do you remember what we did to Spartacus when he turned on one of us? Or was that before your time?
do I know of this, God?
No. Well, you could roll a d20, maybe.
Alright. I rolled a 7.
Okay, yeah, no, you don't know anything about it.
Alright. Well, you don't have to worry about me turning on you. If they attack, then that's on them. I will knock them out, but I don't kill people unneedlessly.
Maybe you're not understanding what I'm telling you. There's a pecking order in this city, okay? We have a place. It's just below the Star Society and just above the Gold Diggers. Okay? And if someone below us, especially someone that's not affiliated and has no station at all, attacks one of our members, then we need to send a statement. Okay? Now, if you're telling us that you want to do this on your own, then that's fine. We'll honor your wishes. We three will. Okay? I can't speak for the others. But if you make us look bad, there's going to be consequences. I mean, you're already kind of viewed the one in the back's like, you know, a pussy.
People are entitled to their opinion, but I always bring my guy in, so.
And the other one that hasn't spoken yet says, who the dames? Are they for you? And the one's like, yeah, right.
They're for somebody else.
I thought so. Have a good night. They walk off.
Alright, ladies, that was interesting. You'll continue to follow me.
They just go, oh, what was all that about? Is that going to change how much we get?
No, that doesn't change anything.
All right. So you make
You get paid when I told you to get paid.
You make it back to the Gilded Lion, and it's dark, and they're like, can you get us a link boy, please? A link boy is a torch bearer, and it'll cost you a copper coin to have someone walk ahead of you with a torch.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so they kind of hold on tighter to you, and you make it to the Gilded Lion. And then you turn in?
Yeah, I take him up to his room, show him where it's at. Knock on the door.
COVID, there's a knock on your door.
From inside the room you hear, what?
You hear,
I have 2 gifts for you.
Anybody in there looking for a good time?
I get up, head over to the door. I open it.
Okay. You see Kmark standing there with two ladies. One appears to be half-elf because she has a pointed tips on her ears, but she's got a scar on the left side of her face. The other one appears to be a red-headed, painted up human female who may or may not be attractive depending on what you uncover. They look at you and they're like, make a charisma check.
22.
The redhead looks at the other one and goes, he'll do. And they try to come in your room.
I'm looking at Tamar.
Okay.
I know you like them. And then, like I said, it's a peace offering to try to amend any misunderstandings we might have had.
The one starts pulling on your arm.
I let
And
him come in and I shut the door.
It's like, come on, quit talking.
I let him come in and I shut the door.
Okay. All right. So whatever goes on in
How
that
much
room,
was that?
we don't want to know.
How much did that cost me, Cub?
For the two of them, 8 silver coins. Shadrach, you hear
And
something.
3 coupons to the doctor.
And this is the inn where you guys have the 3 rooms in the top. So
Yeah.
everyone can hear something going on in COVID's room, and you think he might be having a bad dream.
I'm supposed to be
Well, I
rooming.
guess I'm going to go back to my apartment.
I'm supposed to be rooming with Randy. Randy's here. He's in my room, or I don't know where he is now, but he's supposed to be in my room.
Oh, that's right, because Reggie had his own room. Okay, well,
Just saying. I don't know if he's in there yet, but
Pick apparently is sleeping soundly in his bed.
oh, I'll try not to wake him.
Pick, roll me a d10.
These women are getting impregnated tonight, by the way.
9.
Oh, yeah, you wake up. You are awakened from a sound sleep by the sounds that you can use your imagination, because I'm not going to say what they are.
That bedpost is about to break because it's hitting that fucking wall.
All right. You just kind of roll over, or do you leave, or do you try to slip a
Take
sloogie
my
in there?
sword.
Pick! Join us, brother!
I mean,
Join us, brother!
Okay.
There's 2 of them. I'm done with her. Go ahead.
what do I need?
And do you go to one of the other rooms?
Nope. I'm going to sneak back into my old apartment.
Okay. According to the map here, your apartment is a little bit of a walk. It's between the, it's just on the other edge of the industrial ward and the restless ward.
Okay.
So you need to roll me a d8.
A 5.
All right. You do not encounter. Can you? You have infravision? You're an alpha, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you make
Yes,
it
sir,
there.
I do.
You make it there without issue. And turn in, and now everyone is done. If you're missing a hit point, you get 1 back overnight, and it is the next morning.
The girls might have lost a few.
It is the next day, and you all have the day to do whatever it is you'd like to do. So unless someone really wants to go first, you all kind of gather your things and meet up in the common room below, except for Pick. And Pick, do you head back over to the Gilded Lion, or do you do something else?
Sleep late, and then I'll head back over.
Okay, yes, Shadrach.
I'm going to do my first aid on everybody in the morning to make sure everybody's got good bindings for the day if they need them.
I'm feeling great, thank you.
I know COVID needs some. I need to tend to COVID bindings, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, if COVID needs attention, then you will gain an additional 2 points from him.
I was starting to get somewhere, and then all of a sudden we went up a level, so now I'm way the fuck back down there. That achievable plateau got further up.
So with his proficiency, you gain 3 instead of 1.
2 more.
So if anybody else needs that, speak up.
But apparently, COVID is the only one. All right. So, unless someone has something else they need or want to do, you're all eventually meet up in the common room. Pick apparently got up in the middle of the night and left, and then at some point after you guys are relaxing downstairs, he walks in.
I think that this hiking around is becoming bullshit, and I need to get me a horse. You guys somebody ought to maybe get a cart. No? Yes?
I'm fine.
Well, I don't have any of the money, so if anybody wants me to go buy a cart, give me some money.
Horses require care and upkeep, and they can be left behind incidentally or damaged.
Yeah, I missed mine.
It's not. Personally, I don't value a horse in such a small.
I won't ride an animal unless it's absolutely necessary.
Then we should get at least some provisions before we head out. Are you guys wanting to head out today and try and get on Ryse's trail?
I think we should.
We have a small advantage.
Yeah, I'd like to get out of the city as soon as possible.
I agree.
If we're going to go back to the Cave of Madness, we might want to stop and talk to Jemus at the general store over off of Lead Avenue, and he sold me a potion that allowed me to see in the dark while we were in that cave, so I was able to move around more freely.
Does he make
and
one
that's
that
also
allows?
where I bought those healing potions.
Does he make one that allows you to breathe underwater?
He said he was working on some of those, actually. He'd sold a lot lately because there was a shipwreck out in the harbor.
I can make you breathe underwater.
Really?
If we gotta fight that fish, that would help.
I can make us, if we go back to the Cave of Madness and that creature, I've got something for him. That will
You said
help us
that
all.
the first time we went there.
We didn't have a chance. We had to run away. Everything got confused.
Yeah. He's a powerful beast. Affecting our minds and turning us against each other.
This time, I'll be able to make more than one of us breathe underwater, and we'll be able to see him. He won't be able to hide.
Do you remember the ingredients for the poultice that Log gave us?
I still have 3 of them.
Probably should make some more of that. If you guys need any ingredients for your mixtures and concoctions, then you might want to grab them before we go.
What was that
I'm pretty
stuff?
sure my ingredients are going to be found outside the city.
What is that stuff supposed to have done for us? The stuff we took from Log.
I'm not sure. I'll be quite honest with you, I'm not sure.
I know it didn't help
I
me
think
when
it
I
had
was
something to
underwater,
do with,
so I don't know.
It certainly repelled the monster. He didn't like it. I think it was more for negating the effect of the creature making us breathe water if it forced us to become slime creatures or something. I think it would negate that effect. That's my opinion.
I was lucky enough not to get touched by the thing.
I think it needs to actually control us before it can turn us into slime creatures. It's not something it can casually do by just striking us. I think there's more to it than that.
It's scary to think that Ryse might be under his control.
Yes.
I think
Then
Ryse...
it's good that I have 3 of these extra poultices that we can perhaps use to cure him.
I think Ryse is,
I think that was the...
had a date with Terminus, and I'm frightful that it didn't turn out well. Because
After
Terminus
witnessing
won't
your
fight.
battle, maybe he felt the need for his own redemption.
Well, Terminus won't fight fair, though. He's got all those men. That's what fears me. And it's not the first time Ryse, or Terminus has done this to Ryse, so...
Dirty cutthroats.
Yeah. By the way, that reminds me. Number 1, I don't like being referred to as an Acroraman. Seeing as what my country has turned into, and what the people I fought, or the type of men I fought side by side with, what they're doing now, sickens me, and I don't want to be considered one of them. That is not what I left. So that is not what I am calling myself, and I'm not proud to say I'm an Acroraman, not in today's world anyway. So I'll be changing the color of my armor. I need armor, but I don't need to be identical to them anymore. I'm proud of my armor because of what it stood for, but now it needs some changes because I'm at odds with where I came from. It upsets me deeply, and one man can't change everything, so...
That's true. I'm sure it's difficult being one of so few of your kind here, and now the light that's been shined upon the Acroramans and their society. I don't blame you for not wanting to be a part of them.
For a while there, I was hoping maybe Ryse could take control of these men, or maybe he could bring a change back and take over, and everything could go back the way it should be. But since Ryse has come back, I don't see that light in him anymore. I don't think he can muster what it takes to lead those men anymore. And I won't put that burden on him. And I won't put that burden on him either.
Go ahead, Chad.
Wouldn't the presence of Acroraman troops here be an act of war?
I don't know. I'm not from here either, so...
Well, if enemy soldiers or if soldiers from another country were freely walking around your old home, how would you feel?
I
think something's up.
The only enemy we ever ran into then were slavers, and they weren't an army, they were individual gangs of bad guys, not associated with the next gang. Or the orcs or the goblins, those don't get along with anybody that's humanoid. So, we don't have, the dwarves kept to themselves in the mountains, but they were considered our enemy, and when we did see them, there was never an issue. So I can't speak to what you mentioned about if they came to my homeland. I don't know. I'm not one that makes those decisions. I'm the one that carries out the orders that are given based on whatever they decide.
Well, now you're a free man, and you get to decide for yourself. Because you're in Saskatchewan, my friend. Let's go find your friend.
Our friend.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you guys gather your possessions and start to head out the door, I guess. No?
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I asked Shadrach on our way as we're leaving the city, do you have...
Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Pick.
I was going to ask the guys that took us up there at one time, the Teamsters, would they sell a horse and a cart? Do you think?
So this conversation that he started is before yours.
That's fine.
You said as you were leaving.
That's fine.
Okay. Just want to kind of set it
Oh,
chronologically.
that's fine.
So you guys walk out of the inn, and where are you going once you leave the inn? Who's like leading? And I'm assuming you guys are kind of all walking together, but
Yeah.
somebody should be kind of the lead. Who wants to do that?
It's not me.
Well, I'll bring that up as soon as we walk out the inn. Then we can decide what we're going to do.
Okay, go ahead then. Take the scene. I'll chime in as necessary, but go ahead.
Do you think the Teamsters would sell a horse and a cart? Or just
I don't know if they've got a stable with animals for sale or not.
What about just hiring one again to take us wherever the hell we need? We kind of like keep him on, what's that word I heard, retainer?
I'm not sure that we can trust anybody with all the teams that are supposed to be looking for him. I don't know.
I mean, he would be with us the entire time.
True.
I think we're being watched.
I'm sure of it.
I was gonna suggest that also, that we should keep an eye out for people that are maybe not just watching for us, but watching for Tamar, because I think they think he knows something, and they're gonna probably try and follow him and then get the jump on us or Ryse. So I have a feeling whatever we can do to try to figure that out probably wouldn't be a bad thing.
Do you think it's worth the time, fellas, for us to go by the market over on Lead Street and talk to Jemus about getting potions?
Yeah. Can't hurt.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, Dan.
One of the things we should worry about with getting a cart and stuff is this guy, is it going to be able to go where we're trying to go? I mean...
That's why a horse is good to ride.
Everything. I mean, I just think we're going to have problems trying to, you know, take this carriage and everything.
Y'all need mules.
Well, I defer to whoever
You got
wants
a
to make
good
that
point.
decision.
So on foot it is. I'm going to make my way toward the market where Jemus has his shop.
I follow. Or walk with Reginald.
Okay. So the market where Jemus has his shop is this market here. I'm sorry, no, not that one. It's over here in the 8 in the amusement, but it's like in this area here. So
What's the scale on an inch?
1,000
You
feet.
kind of go around the center of town.
So,
and
yeah, so
the
you guys
land
are coming
area.
from here, and if you want to stick to the main roads, that's kind of what I have here. There's always like smaller roads that may or may not connect. If you were like trying to go straight through, if that would be an instance where if you had city familiarity, you would know the quickest way to get to wherever.
Right. I'll just stick to the main streets.
So you're trying to go to this market here, okay. So I don't want to write it upside down, so.
If you guys, you know, see a shop or something we're going to need, point it out.
COVID, were you able to get those items for me yesterday?
Yes, I have them here.
Thank you.
Okay.
And
Well,
I
Coleman,
give
I'm gonna ask for
you
something.
I give you 2 quivers full of arrows, and I also give Shadrach an extra healer's kit.
Go ahead, Shadrach.
Reginald, hold on to this. I'll give you this extra healing kit in case something happens to me.
I don't know how to use it, but I
might use one. I might use mine. So just that's my concern.
Hey, tell them how many.
I'll shove it in my backpack.
Just add that onto your inventory, please. You guys that are getting things right now, make sure you add that to your inventories.
You might tell them how many uses you get out of a healing
10.
Kit. So you can only use the healing kit 10 times before you get the healing weapons. Shadrach. That's why I got you another one, because every day when you change our bandage to that's a use. Times however many of us
also,
bandage.
I'm going to start casting Goodberry and have lots of Goodberries in a bag, so that'll be helpful too.
Yes, it will.
They last for days, so I mean I'll be able to have, as I go along I'll find berries, and probably once a day I'll cast Goodberry and just fill a bag full of Goodberries.
Alright, so along the way, you're taking the main roads, so I would like Reginald to roll a d20. You're in a city that's patrolled.
That's an 8.
Okay, no issues. You make it over to the market in the amusement ward. Along the way, Shadrach, you do see random bushes that do have berries. You are able to get as many good berries as you would like to stop and get, or at least pick them, and then you'll have to cast a spell at some point.
I will do that.
And if you want to cast that spell right now, then obviously take...
I'll do it. We'll see. It's 2d4 berries, so we'll see how many I get here.
Okay. Okay, so you've made it to the market.
Berries.
Very good. You've made it to the market, and what do you guys want to do there?
I'm gonna go in and talk to Jameis.
Okay.
I enter.
Huh?
I would like to as well.
Okay.
With Reginald.
Whoever wants to go in can go in. So far it's just Reginald and COVID. And do you remember, Reggie, because I don't think I wrote it down, this shop. Oh, here's Jemus. Apothecary. Okay, Jemus Van Note, the gnome. Yeah, all right. So you walk in there and it's cling, 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 cling. So the outside, you guys just kind of hanging out on the step there and relaxing. I'll take that as a yes. Okay. So you walk in and it's like, hey!
Greetings.
I remember you! How'd that potion work out for you?
Real well. In fact, I was hoping you had some more of those.
Well, I got all kinds of them. I've had time to work. Especially now with the orders. I've had several orders come in last night. Something's going on. And then he kind of looks at you up and down. And he's like, armor, weapons. What's going on?
Heading out the countryside.
Who's the
monster hunting?
Who's the dark elf here?
My name is COVID.
COVID. Excuse me. Some of them are just for me. Okay. So he says, well, so what are you wanting?
I want to be able to see in the dark. I'm hoping that you've got 3 doses of that.
I'm just a needy motherfucker, you know?
Man, I need my fix of seeing in the dark.
You want 3 vials of potions of infravision?
Yeah, and depending on how much that's going to run me, maybe a couple more of those healing potions. That worked out well. Hey, I got this box still, and I pull it out of my backpack. Still got one left in there.
He says, you know, I got a good feeling about you.
Well, thanks.
He says, let me go see what I've got. You see him hop down off his stool. walk behind the curtain. Meanwhile, as you're kind of passing the time looking around the shop, you hear some bubbling coming from the left in kind of a shadowy area, and on the right you hear a scratching, and sounds like something's either behind a bookcase or in a cage or whatever. And then on the floor you hear something scurrying around as well. So who knows what he's got going on here. And
He's got an interesting shop, that's for sure.
Suddenly this big black cat hops up on the countertop and goes meow, and kind of is like looking at you like it wants something.
Hey, COVID, are you looking for anything in particular?
Yeah, you know those little healing vials that you gave us?
Yeah, I was hoping he has some more of those.
Think he's got a bucket I could drink out of?
I don't know. Is there a lid for that?
He comes back out and he says, "Rastus, get down!" And the cat hops down. You hear it run off.
Cute kitty.
Kitty? That's one of my potions that didn't quite work out.
Oh.
Huh? COVID's looking at the cat.
He says, okay. He says, make me a charisma check.
He said that?
He says it with a straight face, and I get a 23.
Okay. He says, 3 vials of the dark vision. And he lays them out on the table. And I've been working all night on these healing potions. I've got 4, but I don't have enough ingredients to make any more. He says, by the way, did you bring anything back?
No, I wasn't able to get this monster that we're going to try to kill. It's got tentacles and little eye stalks and lives in the water. I'm hoping I can get you something from that.
He says, why, that's what's that?
I don't know.
The natural one. What's water?
Oh, God.
It's a frost giant.
COVID says.
Sir, I'm sure you probably want some of the slime that this creature exudes. Could we get some of these vials that are empty so as to put the slime in to bring back to you? Because it's a long journey and that slime just isn't really holdable in anything.
Well, let me see.
Of course, if you no charge give it to you, would you just purely out of the goodness of our
He
heart?
says, well, no, I'm willing to pay for components.
And what do you need for these healing things? Because I need to drink out of a bucket.
This guy is a heavy warrior. He gets cut up and hurt, but
He says, you know, if you drink out of a cup, you won't spill as much.
Well, I'm far from being my normal self right now because of the damage I've taken in battle. I said the bucket ingest is the quantity I think I need to ingest.
I see.
And you only have so much for... What kind of stuff are you looking for? Maybe we can find it while we're out there.
He looks at you and he says, roll me a charisma check, please.
I would do it solely in exchange for your assistance. I don't need to be paid for it. 19.
He says, well, I think I've got 2 laying around that I can give you guys. Not a big deal. So what else besides the 3 potions of infovision? You said healing, and I said I had 4 of those.
Right. You've been working on them all night.
Yes. So he produces those along with the 2 empty vials.
And my memory escapes me, doesn't serve me very well. I don't know how much each of these vials is costing.
The infravision, he says, because you're a repeat customer, I'm willing to sell those for 25 golden coins apiece. For the healing, I'm willing to sell those for the same.
That sounds like a fair price.
Oh, you're robbing me. You're robbing me. But as I said, repeat business. And then according to what you said about this one here, might be really repeat business.
It's true, it
Now,
might.
obviously, if I was to get some concentrated ingredients and have a chance to brew my potions longer and distill the essence of the healing magic, I could brew more powerful potions, but they of course would cost more.
That makes sense.
Commensurate with
Time
the
and
amount
effort.
of time and effort. You are smart! I knew I liked you for a reason.
What ingredients do you need that you most need for these healing potions?
Well, what works best is to get the pieces of things that heal naturally. So, let's say, and then he looks around and he says, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. If you were to bring me the internal organs of a paladin of the blend, I could make you ultra heal potions.
How lively do these parts got to be?
They just need to still have, they still need to be, they can't be dried out.
What about squished?
It doesn't matter. They're going to get squished anyway. I mean, if that was a thing that I knew how to do. But obviously then you would be talking about your cost minus the components. And the chance of someone looking down upon this, say, holy man no longer being here could cause trouble. But aside from that, there is the bloodwort vine, which has healing properties if distilled correctly. If any of you, or if you know someone who has herbalism, there are many herbs and roots that aid in the healing and clotting of blood. As far as magical things or creatures, though I have never seen one, of course, there used to be a very capable company that would bring me components, and they said that the horn of either a Chiron or a unicorn can also create the ultra heal potion.
I don't know what those are, but perhaps we can find a lot of these plants that you look for. I have a couple of herbalists in our group. What about the arm or foot or hand of a druid that can cast healing? Would that do you any good? Finger? Ear? I mean, I don't know how that works.
I don't know. Jason's fucking on mute, but he's like, what the fuck? That's worth 10 experience
You're
points.
not there.
Yeah, that's worth 10 experience points. So, based upon my known information about druids and where they get their magic, probably not as good as a paladin of the blend for sure. But if he has magic, it can certainly be extracted. Any magic can be extracted with the proper machinery or tools. And that is something I do have connections.
Well, I think your services are awesome. That last time I was able to see in the pitch black where I was going, just like I was a gnome.
Or an elf.
Indubitably! And he kind of starts to tip forward and goes, whoa!
Can you make...
While he's discussing things with COVID, I'm counting out coin, and I pay him the 175 gold.
Okay, so add those potions to your inventory, please.
I have done so and subtracted the coin.
Do you have something or a way that you could make my skin permanently lighter?
I know acid would work.
Without harming me.
I mean, it's a slow process. They do that
I didn't
sort
know
of
if you
thing
had some potion that
in
might
the townies. If someone wants to lighten their skin in a fad, I know that they do that.
Well,
are you talking about potion-wise?
Yeah.
It
you're a
wouldn't
potion
be.
maker,
It wouldn't
so
be
I don't know.
permanent.
Oh well then. I'm
You
just-
would require much higher levels of transmutative magic.
Do you have something that would change the color of, let's say, metal or leather, or something that can be rubbed on and it'll permanently change the color to something else?
I've never been asked for that, so no. But it's not something, if commissioned, I couldn't study and try to figure out.
I think you could use berries to make it turn colors. Smash them on there and rub them into the leather.
Speaking of berries, you mentioned druids before. It is common knowledge that druids can create good berries.
Mm-hmm.
Good berries can be used to make potions of healing.
Really?
And I have a way of getting the maximum amount of magic from those berries.
How many berries do you require to make a potion?
Depends on how strong you want the potion to be.
Well, let's say we want really strong.
20? And it would require one other ingredient.
What else?
The blood of a newborn infant.
How much blood?
No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just clear crystal water gathered after a rain from a broadleaf tree. That's it.
Would it be alright if that water was contained in a water skin?
Yeah.
Until brought back to you?
It just has to come from a tree with broad leaves, and it has to be rain. It can't be conjured rain. It has to be natural.
Okay. Well, I think we'll probably be doing business in the future, like when we get back.
Well, I hope so.
We'll try to return with what
I am a
we need.
business gnome. I love making money.
I'm willing to do everything for trade.
I
don't need cash
love
or
twisting my long sideburns. I love fancy underpants.
You know, if you ever need a guinea pig or anything, I could be swayed to allow you to test stuff.
Rastus would not have it.
Again, I look at the cat.
You see the cat's giving you like a mean look, which seems impossible, but it does, because if there's a grumpy cat, this is it.
So I look at the cat and I say, so you would prefer to be tested on?
Cat kind of starts licking its paws and then looks up and goes,
Okay. I've seen them.
We need to get moving.
Yes. Can we?
Okay.
I think we should, while we're at the market, I'd like to buy another water skin or two, just to collect this if we come across a rain. And
thanks a lot, Jameis. Good seeing you again.
Yeah, I leave them.
he's like, here's your receipt.
Oh yeah, gotta have that.
Come
But
back.
I tuck it into my tinderbox.
Bring me stuff. I like experimenting. And just for the record, I was kidding about the babies in the paladin, but not really about the paladin, but the baby for sure.
The bile of a champion.
You
And I
did
step
it.
out the door.
He's a funny guy.
All right, so you guys leave, and your friends are outside, just kind of relaxing in the sun in this morning.
Hey, Shadrach!
All right, I got the stuff, man.
Shadrach!
Yes.
Can you make, what do you call them? Some sort of berry. They said druids.
Good berries. You were blessing those berries last night.
Yes.
You can make good berries?
Yes, would you like one?
Sure, I'll try one.
Yeah, I'd like one. He can make healing potions in here. That's one of the ingredients he can make healing potions out of, is good berries.
What are you implying?
While you guys are having this conversation, Tamar gets up and heads in the shop. Go ahead, keep going.
I'm implying that you could make healing potions with those berries that you created.
Are you suggesting that my faith is for sale?
No, I said you could make healing potions out of the berries that you're creating. I've seen you brewing your concoctions.
Okay.
That's a little bit above my... I can't make healing potions.
No, but he can make them out of your good berries. That's why I said, yeah, the guy in here that makes these potions.
You should talk to Jameis.
Yeah, he gave me a...
My faith is not for sale.
Well, no, we're going to trade them for healing potions, which we had to go in there and buy just now. We didn't have anything to trade for.
And with that, I produce a vial pick. Take one of these potions and keep it in your belt pouch handy just in case something happens and we can't get to you.
Reginald, I don't require one. It doesn't do enough help to me to be worthwhile where it might help one of you more so. I need something more drastic or nothing at all, so...
It could save your life. You don't want to keep one in your belt pouch?
We don't have enough for everyone. Let those of you have them first. I
bought 4 more.
How many have them left? I think Ryse had one, but who knows where that is now.
I was the only one that still had a potion in my pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now we have 4 more, so I gave one to Pick.
Okay.
And I'm going to give one to you, and when Tamar comes out, I'll give one to him. Shadrach, would you like to have one?
Hold on.
Would that be offensive? I don't want to offend you.
No, but if I need it, pour it in my mouth.
That doesn't work. An unconscious Bumford can't glump the slump.
Yeah! 10 points for Chazon.
I will accept the potion. Thank you. Here, have a good berry.
You're welcome, and I will take that and eat it right now. Boom.
You gain 1 hit point, and you feel like you ate a whole meal.
Now that is tasty.
You give me 1 more. I eat it.
Okay.
So
if anybody else wants a good berry, you can have a good berry. But they automatically heal a point of damage. You can get a maximum of 8 points per day from them, and they fill you up like a full meal. That's what it said.
Yeah, it's a great spell.
That's why I'm going to give a sack full of them.
Yeah.
Because they last, at my current level, they last for 6 days. So that's good enough for our adventuring.
Now, fellas, I also picked up some potions of infravision so that when we do get back to the Cave of Madness, those of us without infravision can drink these potions and be prepared.
We might not.
Maybe we can sneak in there without light.
We might not need to go back to the cave right away. I mean, we didn't. It was some distance from the cave when we followed his tracks off to the.
I know.
So that was a day later, or a full day's travel.
But we need to go back there and kill Zonnegan.
Well, I'd like to deal with Ryse first. I mean, I think it's more important.
That is the task at hand.
Okay.
Once Ryse is resolved, we must destroy the creature. That will be my objective, and I'll leave you all behind to go do it.
Yeah. I think we should take care of that.
As long as those of us that can fight it can breathe underwater, there's a better chance.
We can do this. You just have to plan carefully.
I'm willing to give him
So
that.
I look to the door as Taymark emerging.
Not yet, no.
I need to get a couple water skins, empty water skins for the trip. Something I'm going to try and collect for.
I'll take an information potion, Reginald, if you spare one.
Would you like me to hang on to it for now?
When we get to the cave, I'll take it.
There you go. I got a little box here that's going to help protect them.
Is there a booth next door to this one or something? A shop or something? I don't care what it is, just as the one with somebody. I asked them, where could I get...
I can strengthen that glass, by the way.
A good stainable dye or ink that would stay on leather or stain metal, perhaps, for X amount of time. Do you have any thoughts on where one could purchase that?
Hey, COVID, what color is your armor?
It's kind of a rustic red-ish. It's banded, so there's bands of metal that are more or less shiny and kept up well. Like it's got good upkeep to it. And then the leather would be like a reddish in between. It has a cape. The cape has a color on it, which a design, but the cape's not. I'm not currently wearing the cape. You probably won't see it again.
My leather armor is dark colored. It was originally brown, but I've used ash from the fire and charcoal and rubbed it in, and over time it's darkened.
Well, I would like to do something in
I can make a dye for you.
I would like something in the purple or blue range, if that can be done.
It can be done. Blue is a hard color. Not too many things in nature have the natural blue color, but with my herbalism, I believe I can find you a dye.
Okay. I mean, I see a lot of royalty wearing purple and blue. That's why I thought I'd try it. So it must be some sort of dye out there.
Shellfish, if that makes any sense.
No, but whatever. Hey, what was that? What was that? That plant that we need the heart of, Reginald? What did he say it was? Some sort of. I forget.
A plant?
Yeah, he said.
A plant?
That he can draw the healing out of the natural healing. Anyway, you herbalists are supposed to know how to work this stuff. You're supposed to know what different things, what different plants can help with healing and whatnot. Obviously, I guess you can use them on us. If we could, if you don't mind, whenever you see that, let me know. I'd like to collect it in an empty sack and take it back to this guy, at some point.
Was it Nimrod?
It takes time.
What?
Was it Nimrod?
I don't remember that name. Well, these guys would know. I mean, I'm pointing at Shadrach. I say he should know, right? You're an herbalist. He said herbalists know what these things are.
What am I supposed to know?
We tried to piss him off, man. Last time we talked about his good berries, he got all mad.
Yeah, I know.
What plants are you talking about? I don't understand.
There are plants that have natural healing abilities. I guess that's part of what the salve is you make that you put on us. Whatever those plants are, and you're being an herbalist, you should know the name, is what I was told. I don't know. But I'd like to collect those as we go in abundance and take him a sack of it back.
It takes time.
No shit.
I have to find it first.
Well, I mean, we're going on a journey of many days. So if we come across it...
I can't search for plants while we're walking.
I know, but if we come across it, or when you and Taymark are always looking into the woods when we stop or camp for different things, like your plants or whatever, maybe you could keep an eye out for those also. I'm only asking because he's willing to trade...
That's fine.
He's willing to trade healing potions and stuff for this. Healing means something to me. I can't seem to get an edge up on healing. And apparently, if I'm going to fight something that's going to take it down quicker than I can get it back, I mean, I need whatever edge I can get. So I'll do whatever this guy wants to get healing. If that's the quickest way for me to heal, I need whatever he can do. I'll do what he wants. If he wants me to collect this shit, I'll get... I don't want his money. I just want to trade. And if you give me as many of these good berries as you can, I mean, I'll be indentured to you for something or whatever. What do you want me? What do you want from me? I'm serious. I haven't felt well in a couple of weeks.
Eat the rest of these good berries.
You need a whole bush of them.
Well, it's 4 points. You want 4 points?
What are points?
4 hit points. Four good berries, 4 hit points. You can get a maximum of 8 hit points from good berries a day.
I can't. I gotta go with whatever he's saying, God. I'm trying to roleplay going into the mechanical, so I can't. Yes, thank you. I take them and eat them. If there's anything I can help you to do to find more of this stuff, let me know.
So this guy that you guys noticed that's standing behind COVID, this average looking dude that's holding like a towel over his arm, and he's got gloves on and a pair of scissors, and he's like, so as fascinating as that conversation was, sir, the dyer, you'll have to go to the industrial ward. Shadrach, can you mute? Somebody needs to mute. And what they do is they create dyes and they apply them to things. Obviously, I don't know how they do it, but I do know that there are certain things that are cheaper than others. Obviously, I overheard you talking about wanting something purple.
Or blue.
Purple's reserved for royalty, and though there is no king or queen of this kingdom,
I'm not from this kingdom.
Then I would not suggest going for purple. Anything that is more colorful is going to cost more because it's either going to come from plants or minerals, and the more scarce it is, the more that rich people are willing to pay for it. So like brown, and obviously anybody can do brown because that's going to be the color of your wool. But
that's why my blue trousers were so expensive.
Obviously you must have some means by looking at you, but all I can do is tell you where the dyer would be.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
And he kind of turns around and goes back to the shop. Apparently he was getting ready to answer you, and then you started talking to him.
Sir.
Yeah.
I pull out a silver. Thank you for the advice. I appreciate it.
Okay, so you guys are still waiting on Tamark, I guess?
Yes.
I guess he's coming out.
Where's Tamark?
Well, he hasn't yet. Are you all done in there, Tamark? Alright, so you come out.
Just whatever I had texted you was all.
I don't know if you have anything extra when you come out or not.
I got both of those. Alright. So I paid
what do you
55. Was that right for everything?
You come out with one thing.
Right.
The other thing is commission.
Right. So I paid both of them.
Okay. And when you walk out, are you hiding that?
No.
Okay. So you guys see him come out, and he's got a receipt in his hand, and he's holding the vial as well.
Hey, Jeebus does good work, man. What'd you get?
Something to breathe water. And I happen to think is since we're going to have to go back and fight the Screecher at some point, I was trying to figure out if maybe he could make something that would blow up under the water or turn it into fire or ice or something that might damage it. You know, or if it, you know, couldn't do the whole thing, maybe it could sink down to the bottom and then go off to hurt it, you know, just in the bottom part of it. So he said give it about a week and see where he was. So I gave him some money to try to work into it. But, you know, whatever we're going to do to this thing, I mean, it's going to take quite a bit. I mean, it's, you know, from what we've seen, it's like me. You know, we can't just all dive into the water and go.
That's right. It does have power. Hey, did you still have a healing potion left in your bag?
Yeah, I was trying to find something to let me see in the dark, but
I've got some of those. I've got some of those for us humans when we get there. And here, take this potion of healing.
Well, I have one already.
Oh, okay, you've got one.
Yeah, I never used the original one, so.
Very good. So I've got two in my pocket.
You know.
You guys
I'll keep it with you, man, in case of an emergency.
You guys remember what the healing potion's power is?
2d4 plus
2? 2d4 plus 2?
You are correct.
Okay. And I will hang on to these Infravision
I would
vials.
also
I've got 3 doses.
I would also
when we
like...
get to the Cave of Madness...
Reggie, hold on. Reggie, so the 4 that you just bought, or 3 of the healing, how many did you get?
I got 4 of the healing potions.
Okay. So who has... You got one. And Pick got one. And Reggie got one. And where's the 4th?
I have 2. I have 1 left from the original purchase.
He gave one to me.
I have one.
Okay.
I have one from
and
the
Shadrach
original.
got one. Okay. That's where they are. Okay. Just make sure you add those to your inventories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I would like all of you that have one of these new potions to roll charisma checks, please, and tell me your total. And we'll start with the left part of the screen with Reggie.
It's 24.
And then we will go to Pick.
31.
Ooh, Shadrach.
25.
And you?
I have an extra 20. Do I roll again?
Yes.
33. I only rolled 2 the second time.
So Shadrach, you got a, Pick, you got a 34?
31.
31. And what did you get, Shadrach?
25.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm gonna roll 18 or 20 or something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, God just froze.
I'm here.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, you worked for a minute.
Open your eyes.
I
Okay.
lost
So you guys are all done. What do you want to do
Daryl
now?
there for a second.
I'm prepared to hit the trail if you guys are.
I just need to grab a couple empty wineskins, or water skins, I mean, on the way out.
So where are we off to then?
All right. So
Back the way we came from.
you
I
guys
was
are
saying we go to the stream.
you
The
guys are
stream should be our first
having
point
this
to the store.
conversation while you're going to the market there, and you can just do book price on whatever it is you're purchasing.
Okay, Shadrach, you said you could make me a color of something to help tan my, or to change the color of my armor, the leather parts of my armor and whatnot. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm sure we can find some berries or something out in the woods that'll stain
Okay,
it.
then I won't worry about
change
getting
the
in here
color,
then,
yes.
we can just leave.
The Dungeon Master is going to ask Shadrach, are you aware that dyeing is a skill?
Smashing colorful berries on his armor should do the job.
It'll do it.
I'm sure I can find some nasty berries that can stain his armor.
It'll do it temporarily. So,
I
okay.
couldn't find okay, that's true. Okay.
I just don't
I'll
want
have
you
to throw
to...
something.
Picture him little berry husks all over.
I think being that it is a medieval profession, you would know that it takes more than to smash a grape on someone's shirt to make them look like grape ape. So.
I don't know. It'll. If you're wearing a white T-shirt, you smash some grape on there, it stays great.
Yes, Tamar.
So I had the skill camouflage. Would that help? I know this would only be temporary, but would that help me know more about what to use that would last for a little bit? Or does that only apply to skin?
It only applies to what you wear and what you put on your skin.
Okay.
All right. So you guys have been to the market, and now you were talking about heading back to the Cave of Madness. Is that correct? Or
well, we're gonna head to the stream first.
I
think.
Yeah, we're gonna hit the trail.
Okay. All right. So
where we last seen his trail going to the stream.
Okay. So you've been a while here. So pick, roll the d20 in this well-watched city.
Do you remember what I was going to ask?
Nine.
When I said when we left the city?
Huh?
Remember when we were going to leave the city? I said I was going to ask something, and then we backed up and did all this other shit. Do you remember what I was going to ask?
Well, because you didn't get there, so
I don't know
no.
what the fuck it was.
But
we're
you were
actually
going to
leaving
ask
the city.
Shadrach about something.
Alright. Maybe it'll come back.
Okay. So,
Hey, Cobb, can I ask a question?
yes.
What's the strength bonus for strength 17 for attack and damage?
+1.
I think it's +1/+1. I have my player's
Yeah,
handbook
+1.
here.
Okay.
That's what I have.
Okay.
You have strength 17?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
What am I looking for?
Thank you.
Water skin?
Okay. So you, once again, you kind of stick to the main roads, and you may or may not walk through the blended ward, but whoever's leading, who's leading, who's directing the flow of your group?
I'll walk in front.
Shadrach wants to go first. Okay.
I'll take lead when we get out of the city, but not in the city.
Now the roads are wide enough where you guys can walk in a big group or however you want. So unless someone needs or wants to walk a certain way, I've just kind of put COVID and Pick in the second rank and Reggie and Tamark in the third rank here. I don't know if you can see that. It's not really that important. But so Shadrach, you go through the blended ward. You go take the roads around it to get out of the northern gate.
I'm taking the most direct route to the gate. I want to get out of the city. I'm done with this place.
Well, I guess you're
We
not.
should go around.
I guess you're not really sure what the most direct route is because you don't have city familiarity.
We
So-
should go around back to the Gilded Lion and go out, because we came in that way, past the shaved-ass gnome.
All right, Reggie, why don't you take the point? You know where you're going. I don't.
Go ahead, Tamark.
I thought I did.
So, while we're going through town and leaving, I'm going to try to keep aware of our surroundings and see if we're being tailed by anybody.
Okay, no problem. Roll a perception check, or
29.
all right. You appear to be just carrying on in your own business. No one seems to care. Sean, as far as your non-weapon proficiency goes for shit like that, you need to tell me when you want to try it.
Okay. I won't until I'll do that when we leave the city because it's more likely to chance somebody found us out than in the city is what my thought would be.
Yeah, it's proficiencies normally are supposed to be called by the player when they want to use
Are
it.
you talking about my
Yeah.
whatever? Okay. I would think I get a lot of looks anyway, just because I'm dark-skinned out. So, when we leave the city, I'll start looking for something like that. Thank you.
So you make it around. You're kind of heading north. You walk through the necro ward, avoiding the blended ward. The necro ward, there's mausoleums and headstones and funerals going on. And as you leave the necro ward and enter the coin ward, and you see the shaved gnome that the Reggie had just impugned, you see coming the opposite way down the street around a curve. So it's like there's buildings there and you're walking, and as you were walking this way, they're walking this way, or should I say there's a mule with a wagon behind it, and in the wagon it is very obvious. First of all, you see like 5 guys that are walking alongside, kind of in a formation. Tamark, you recognize them immediately as members of your guild, and you realize that in the wagon there's another bounty hunter. Most of these guys are dressed in the leather, and they have short swords and bows. The guy in the cart has a crossbow, kind of like just holding it at the ready, not pointing it. But in the back of the wagon, you see Ryse, who is manacled and shackled, and they appear to be heading the opposite way. And as far as you can tell, they don't seem to have noticed you yet, and if they have, they haven't given you any indication that they have.
Fuck. You guys don't want to try anything. They will kill you
We
guys.
don't see the shit, correct?
Well, now you do.
What the fuck?
Ryse, you're alive.
Well, no, you're still like 100 feet away.
He's alive, guys. They've got him.
He must have been following us back. This was just yesterday. And they sent these people out. Jeez.
Well, let's follow him. See what happens.
Well, he's obviously coming back to do the right thing, or following us back. Yes, by all means. I very attentively wait for them to pass and then follow or attempt to walk.
And as I said, there's kind of buildings, so as you guys are like coming, I'll just reverse it. As you guys are coming this way, and having heard nothing to change what I thought, we'll just leave the marching order the way it was. And
Jason's waving his hand. I don't know if that has anything to do with the marching order or not.
Hello.
and the wagon, which maybe I've put away.
I'd like to cast a spell.
Hold on, I just want to set up a little minuscule scene just so we can get ranges and stuff.
Time for some shit.
Take it easy, man. Don't freak out. I'm putting my hand on your elbow. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, you see Shaz's eyes get real big and green.
Don't get yourself arrested.
I'll be alright.
I'm not fighting these people in the middle of town, man.
They are not. They are moving at a very leisurely pace. The mule is just kind of clip-clopping along. No rush, no nothing. I said 100 feet, so
I'm casting when I get the chance.
Here. Well, hold on.
Okay.
Check your range.
And then.
Oh, I don't need range.
Don't try to kill Ryse.
Now, he doesn't really.
No.
He doesn't. I'm gonna put these up here, but obviously they fit in the thing. So you may need to not get bogged down in the detail of things.
I begin to play a happy tune.
And this guy here, even though he's got a bow, I said it was a crossbow. And let's go with him and him. And how about that guy back here? Okay. And the road isn't like, there's no shoulders. It's just, this is the part that's mostly traveled, and then there's grass and small shrubs that extend that way up until the buildings. And there's lots of buildings that line the main road. So lots of alleyways and roofs and other things. Okay. So Shadrach says he wants to cast a spell.
Yes, I do.
Okay. What would you like to cast?
Oxen strength.
And
You see Shadrach pull a tuft of hair out of his bag and kind of sniff it even.
Take it easy, man. Don't get
And then
arrested.
you see him go from being a scrawny druid to a really muscular druid.
is there anything about the casting of the spell that you would do to alter the parameters in your favor?
I can't see anything that would really alter it in my favor.
Okay. All right, so you
And
cast,
I'm gonna be like this for a while.
you cast the spell on
So, yeah.
yourself, and all of you see that the druid has a different presence amongst you. One that seems to be more powerful,
Buff.
perhaps.
And it's
And
really buff, quick.
okay. So you guys let me know if you want to do anything. I'm going to move the figures at their pace, and then that's all I'm going to do.
I would move towards the
I
front
start
of
to
our
walk in that direction.
Me too.
Okay,
Yes.
so the groups grow closer,
I'm following in the back.
and these groups go. You said that you would like to like be even with the druid, or are you
No, I'm
attempting to
stepping in
move
front of it.
faster?
Well, I'm going to step in front of it.
Okay, so as everyone is moving, COVID does a quick hurry up jam and gets up in front.
What are you doing?
I pass him like, what are you doing?
Okay? And
Friend,
then,
friend.
as is common, etiquette, everyone knows this, it's like the person on your right when you come to a four-way stop goes first. When a wagon is on a road and if there's a chance of people bumping into each other, the people step to the side and the wagon continues on. So they just continue to move straight. And if you guys don't change your course, you will run into them. So
I'm stepping to the side and I'm getting to where I can see the wagon and I'm saying, "Ryse! You're
Okay.
alive!"
is anyone else?
I shout out to
Are
him.
the rest of you staying in the road?
You there, stop!
Dude, don't do this. Move aside.
Shadrach calls
They
out.
will kill you.
Yes, COVID?
So, I stay in the middle until they get, they're coming right up on me at the very last minute. I'll step to the side, same side everybody else is going.
Okay, so as you kind of look with your peripheral vision, you can see that Reggie's already off the road. The other three apparently are not. And
No,
Well, I
do
don't,
not.
whether they do or not, this is what I do. I do what I say.
Yeah,
I don't care
you
if
do
they're
what you
not
say.
around yet.
okay, so as they're coming up, the guys in the front are like, "Look out, coming through! Guild business, look out!" And as they approach, you said at the last second, you kind of move aside, and they continue on.
My eyes drift straight to Ryse to see what I can see about Ryse.
I already moved the side cover.
Okay, you go to the same side as Reggie?
Yeah, I already moved.
So now just Shadrach and Pick are in the road. And these guys are saying, hey, wake up, move aside, coming through.
Lay down and create speed bumps.
Okay,
I look at Pick.
they are about to bump into Shadrach. Do you just take it, or do you move? Shadrach, come on.
I will move aside very slowly and stare right in their faces.
Okay.
Whoever's the person that looks like they're in charge, I will stare right at them.
Well, being who they are, they have none of them look like they're on a team per se, even though it would be fair to assume that they are, but each bounty hunter is kind of their own individual contractor, if you will. So imagine like a bunch of roofers that all went to the same house. They wouldn't be wearing the same shirts.
Whoever's closest to me gets a real dirty look. How's that sound?
Okay. Roll a charisma check. Because right now, there's like, they just think you guys maybe are drunk or something. I don't know.
26.
Okay. So he just kind of looks back at you and smiles a little bit, and they keep going, and then now they're coming up to Pick, and they're like, move aside, business.
I slowly move.
You go to the same side as your companions, or other side?
Yes.
Okay, so you get out of the way, and yes, Reginald? Oh, you had said...
Is Ryse looking about? Is he cognitive?
All
Can
right.
he hear me saying things?
Right. Let me get back. So COVID had said... No, you were looking.
I'm looking at Ryse to see if is he
Okay.
obviously alive? Is
So
his eyes open?
he looks the same, except for like maybe he's sleeping. His like head's down, and like I said, you can see that from where he's sitting. You can kind of see manacles on him.
Yeah, I'm looking for
you
wounds.
Can't see his feet
I see
or
the obvious
anything.
wounds.
Not
like a punch. I mean
make
like
sure. Make a perception.
You know,
check,
like
please.
a knife wound, stuff I'd be familiar with. Oh wait, it's 30. 26.
Okay. He does not appear to have any wounds other than the ones that you knew that he had from whatever adventure you were on. Okay. And then Reggie, you were doing something. You were looking around trying to see what?
I had been calling out, Ryse, you're alive, what happened? And I'm trying to decipher if he's hearing me or not. Is he responding?
He is not responding. He appears like he's sleeping because he doesn't have the look of a dead person. You've seen the dead person before, and if he was dead, he wouldn't look. He just looks like he's sleeping. His head's down, and the manacles are kind of resting there, and the other guy with the crossbow is just kind of looking down at you, but he's not pointing the crossbow at you, and they move up a few more squares and resume their apparent nonchalant.
As they pass, I would like to fall in behind them, and I'm going to follow the cart, and I'm going to begin strumming a tune on my lute.
Easily done.
I'm going to fall up behind them and follow too.
No problem. Anybody else want to do that? Yes, Shadrach. Can't hear you.
Casting.
Okay, so you're right about at the mule when you start to cast. Is anyone else falling? Okay, well hold on. Let me change that, because if you were waiting and then you were falling in line, that means when you start casting, you would be back here at these three guards. And Pick and COVID.
Just a thought. Did you want to ask?
Am I within like 50 feet of these people? I mean,
Yes.
pretty sure I am. Okay.
Hold on.
All right. That's all that matters.
What'd you ask?
Let's say.
Just if I'm within 50 feet.
It might have been easier if you asked when the first one of us they pass what we're gonna do. because you got everybody lined up behind them, but they passed me first, and that's what I was going to do.
Well, you can tell.
But I'm going to step in right behind these guys, the last 2 guys or 3 guys.
Okay, that's fine.
And I start talking to them, to these guys. I mean, I'll make sure I'm on their heels. I'm not stepping on them, but I mean, I'm...
You're close.
Close quarters.
Yeah. Okay.
So guys, you put up a fight?
So pick.
What's going on?
And pick, are you going to fall in line, or are you going to just stay by Shadrach? Off the road.
I'm standing by Shadrach.
Okay.
And I'm inching a quiver or bow or an arrow out of my quiver.
Be careful.
Okay.
I'm doing it where it's
I see.
slow.
Okay, so here's what the deal. It's not 3 guys there. It's 2 guys there, and then the guy with the crossbow is up there with him. So I'm just going to lay him down. He's not laying down, but this makes it fit.
Sure.
Okay. All right, so that's where everybody is. You start a conversation. Shadrach is casting a spell. What spell are you casting?
I'm casting my little simple orison, my cantrip thing. It's basically I'm checking to see if there's any kind of magic on Ryse right now. Is there any kind of magic? It doesn't tell me what kind. It just lets me know if there's any kind of magic on him, and that's it.
All right, just so we're perfectly clear, could you read the description of what it is you're trying to do?
Okay, give me a moment, but
All right, so while you're looking that up, COVID, you said what you said, which is, I forgot already. Something about, did you guys fight?
Did he put up a fight?
Oh, did he put up a fight? Okay. So roll a charisma check. Let's see if they even bother. Because they might be like, who the fuck's this guy? Or they might be like, oh.
30.
30, okay, yeah. So the guy turns around and he kind of looks you up and down, and then he notices what you're wearing, and he compares it to their quarry, and he's like...
I was heading out to look for him as well. I'm glad he's been found and he's not dead. Did he put up a fight? I got my hands like this with no blades in them.
That's fine. He says, no.
Do you sense there might be something wrong with him when you come across him? Was he wandering aimlessly?
He says...
Or does it appear to you?
A 4. I came at the end. All I know is he's apparently did something. And then he looks at you and he's like, you got the same armor.
The proctor wants to question him as to what happened.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. We all...
What happened, I guess. And the one's like, hey, shut up, man. Pay attention.
It's not for me to...
And the guy's like...
It's the proctor's business. It's not for me to tell you.
I'm sorry.
I understand. Thank you, sir. I follow. I continue to follow. I don't do close quarters, but I continue to follow him.
Sure. Okay. So if someone wants to do something different besides follow, you will have to get my attention. But other than that, they continue to move. Now and so Shadrach, your response is unmute and tell me what the Orison says. Can't hear you. It's not working? Alright, I'll look it up. That's fine. I got my compendium right here. Orison. Okay.
There are several different Orisons.
Magic sense. If there is a persistent spell effect or magical item within 10 yards, the priest feels a recognizable tingle or sensation of some kind. What item or spell may have caused the reaction is not revealed. So, Shadrach, you cast the Orison. You do sense a persistent spell effect within 10 yards. It doesn't say... Well, I'm going to say it's coming from this general area where Ryse is, but it... that's about all the information I can give you. Okay. And I'm guessing you're rebooting your system or whatever. Okay, so after they continue to move forward and the Pick and Shadrach are kind of being left behind, do you guys join the others or do you just watch them go off in the distance? Pick?
I hang with the group.
Okay. And while Shadrach re-monkeys, I'm going to say that's what he does. So, okay. So now you're just following. And every so often the guy with the crossbow looks back at you because there's now this group that's following
My eyes meet him.
the quarry. So he is now seemingly more alert. These two guys, they also start to walk sideways and seem tensed up and ready because they are professionals. So they will either walk backwards or sideways or whatever and constantly watch.
I'm playing a happy tune.
Are you attempting to do anything with this happy tune?
Just to lighten the mood.
So you're not using your bardic ability to change
I am
reactions?
not a bard. I do not have bardic abilities. I am a rogue who is
Okay.
proficient with a musical instrument, and I'm glad to have it back in my possession.
Okay. All right. So the group of people that is going down the road, you can see that after a while you come to the Shaved Gnome and then you come to the Gilded Lion and then you start to head through some I don't want to say the suburb, but the places where people live that is more densely packed, leading to the blended ward. And
God damn it.
as you continue to follow through these roads that aren't main roads, eventually you enter the blended ward and you go right past one of the houses of healing on the outskirts of the ward. And accordingly, this is the marching order for you guys. If you can't see it, it's COVID first, followed by Tamark and Reggie, followed by Shadrach and Pitt. And the Shimpankies that are fucking doing the job, whatever their fucking name is. Tamark, what's your job? Bounty hunters. The bounty hunters continue on into the main until they enter the circle of the small outer buildings of the Temple of the Blend and stop at the front, and they are admitted with their quarry in tow. He does not resist. He is not seem to be concerned about his well-being. His head is down. At this point, he kind of looks up and he notices all of you, and all he does is put his head back down as if he perhaps is in shame or disgusted with himself, maybe for something that he might have done recently. Who knows? But his manacles clank in the quiet area of the temple, and he is taken inside. And if you guys want to follow him into the temple, you certainly can. Because
I do so.
this is a temple of healing that you guys have already been to, and you also know
I give them my weapons.
that they will request that you So does anyone?
This is my first time going in, but I do so.
Okay.
I don't care. I just dump it all in the backpack.
Okay. Is there anyone that stays outside?
You know, I think, fellas, that we should probably store our things back at the Gilded Lion. Instead of, I'm not going to leave all my stuff out here in the alcove.
You just gotta leave.
I'll wait here. If somebody wants to go in, I'll keep an eye on your things and
I'm not going in.
find out what happened.
Might mention what I just did.
COVID has
I want to
already.
hear what the proctor has to say.
COVID and Tamark have already entered the building, Reggie. So it's just
All right.
Pick and Reggie and Shadrach outside. At least
All right.
until you say different.
I will take a position outside.
Okay, what about you, Shadrach? You gonna remain outside with Reginald?
Yes, I'm staying outside.
Okay. And what about you, Pick? You're gonna stay out with those other two? Okay. Simple
I'm
enough.
curious, though, to find out what the proctor will say, if he'll find any answers or any relief, any closure, solace.
I'm sure we'll know soon enough.
Okay, so Tamark, you've been here before, but COVID, you see a couple young guys, teenagers probably, in these vestments, which you can certainly guess is some type of clothing or attire associated with the church. Has symbols on its hems and nicely made, clean. Something that is not a common thing amongst the working class or what have you. They politely ask and you remove your weapons, and they explain that, you know, this is a place that is anti-battle. We heal people and we help the people. This is a safe place, and if you wish to go any further.
I'm familiar with what other people had to do when they come here, so I'm the one waiting outside.
Well, they don't know. They don't know
I
anything
know,
about you.
but as
so.
soon as they come up and they request it, they don't
Yeah.
get the. I mean, why they can
So
continue
while
by
we're
law,
talking,
but I'm
you've already
immediately
done. Yeah. Okay.
keying,
Right.
whatever,
Very good.
and then no hesitation.
So it's just you and Tamark there, and you see them, all of them. They've done the same thing, and now they're marching. They're not marching. They're just kind of walking as Ryse is not resisting. And
But is he walking?
yeah.
Okay. That's
And the praetor meets them first, and he talks to them. Are you trying to crowd in on their conversation?
I'm gonna try and get the praetors. Is it praetor or proctor? I thought it was proctor.
Well, you haven't been here, so you're really
No,
not
I mean,
sure
Sean's
what this
been
guy
writing
is.
this down the whole time you've been
Well,
talking
the
about it.
praetor is the first guy that was met by Shadrach.
The guy that lost the kid, is that the proctor? Is that,
Yeah, the
okay.
proctor's-
Okay, that's where my confusion was.
Basically, the proctor is
Fine.
just another way of saying high priest. here.
I
But-
kind of motioned a hand up like I'm trying to get this guy's attention.
He gives you an acknowledgement, but then continues back with the conversation with the bounty hunters. And so he summons another acolyte over, and they are escorted down this hallway on the left, which, even though COVID doesn't know, Sean knows that that's where the proctor.
Well, I'm staying in line
So-
with them to get up to this guy, and I'm going to try and go past him with them unless I'm stopped.
Okay, so the praetor, just as you try to go past, he's like, "What?
He is my
What
friend.
may I do for you?"
He is my friend, and I want to be with him when he is questioned or whatever. Perhaps if penance need to be made, I would be happy to do them as well, but I wish to be at his side. I may be the only friend in there he has when he's questioned. I would like to be with him. Where my people come from, that is all right.
Make a charisma check with advantage because you were nice.
Here, I'll give you a coin.
All right, let the record show Sean is cashing in a 37 token for a free reroll.
19. Well,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
get to roll both.
Go ahead.
I think.
I'm feeling generous.
19 is a good one. So 19
Plus.
You said charisma?
Yep.
30.
All right. So with that roll, the Praetor looks at you and he says, I am very sympathetic. And I believe you, but unless you are willing to forego what our customs are and our religion says, you will remain here until you are called.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean. Unless I'm willing to forego.
If
You're asking me if I want to forego them, then yes.
No, I'm saying if you push past me,
I won't push past you.
then please wait. But tell me, what else? I heard you. Is there anything else in this time that I could do for you? Perhaps a glass of wine?
Can you allow the proctor to make the decision? I have not, to whether I can stand next to Ryse or not.
Well, he makes the ultimate decision. I just know that he has his business, and then he tells me when I am allowed to do my business.
I've never been here before or inside this building, or have met you or him before. But I was there when the boy died. I would like to stand with my friend, my brother, during this encounter.
You will get your chance. The proctor is not in the habit. What is that? What's that sound? Somebody hit their mute or do something.
One of the people on the phone?
I don't know what it is. I hear it, but I don't know where it's coming from.
It wasn't from me.
Now it's going away. And it's gone.
Weird.
Okay, we'll just call that a fluffernutter. Okay.
Must be me shaking my head.
So I'm like, may I stay here until I hear?
Yeah.
And I stand there.
He says, please
wait.
Be more comfortable. Come over here, and there's a chair, and he says,
if standing here is closer to the chair than I stay, I'm fine.
It is. I'm 5 feet. Okay, he says, Ricard, come over here. If he wishes any refreshments, please do so, and I will return.
You got a jug of healing juice, as I say with a laugh.
He just kind of turns around and smiles and nods and carries on. Meanwhile, the acolyte's like, is there anything would you like a sandwich?
No. I want to be with my friend. Can I go in there?
Not until you're admitted.
Who will come out to tell me that I'm admitted?
I assume the Praetor will. He is the...
So he's going in there now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the one that controls the flow between the proctor and the congregation.
Did you know Flaggy?
Yes, very sad. The proctor was very distraught, and as were all of us. He was, he was a teenager, and he had his moments, but his heart was good, and we understand that bad things happen to good people, because if only good things happen to good people, there would be no blend. The blend means that anything can happen at any time, and even in the midst of chaos or order, there are parts of the opposite that must exist, be able to tell them apart. And Flaggy was part of our blend here in this church.
So after he speaks there for a little bit, I start looking past towards wherever this other guy went, like impatient, waiting patiently / impatiently for somebody to come out of whatever doorway I see down the hallway. So I'm sitting there waiting. It's obvious that I'm not patient, but I'm not pushing.
Okay, Tamark, are you doing anything or just waiting patiently?
Well, before he left, I was trying to get your attention to see if I could go in there and listen to the questioning, but you
Yeah, the answer would have been the same. No. So unless
I just wait there.
Yeah, unless you're willing to do something else.
I have a seat and I wait.
Okay, so a couple minutes go by, and then a couple more minutes, and you know how you get to the dentist and you think your appointment's at 10, and it's pretty soon it's 10:30, and pretty soon a half hour's gone by, and then you see someone walk in, hand over their dagger, and he is wearing like a brown overcoat. Guy like 20 or 30. And he just turns in a dagger, and he is the kid that's kind of there just waiting with you, but just kind of, you guys are just kind of sitting there. He hops up real fast, and the other guy walks up and looks at you and nods, and then looks over at Tamark and nods.
Do I know this guy at all?
Make me a intelligence check, please, on a D30.
Remember, he went to the lawyers and everything else trying to find out what the contract, if that's what he's got.
35.
35. Yes, you do recognize this individual. So he is led in by the acolyte.
The acolyte that's supposed to be standing there watching me?
Yes. So apparently whoever this guy is must be somebody. Or nobody.
I'm going to attempt to step forward when they're going down the hall or whatever. You know, as he's leading them in, I'm going to follow.
Okay. So they walk past, and then you're like, oh, well then I'm going to start walking too.
Yep.
The guy turns around, and
the guy?
He looks at you and he goes, don't fuck this up. Wait out there. And then turns back around and heads in.
I stop where I'm at, and I don't come further. Let me know if that kid returns. I have a question now.
He comes back real quick once the other guy gets back in the office.
Who is that?
He does not answer.
Why won't you tell me who that was? Is that a secret? It has to do with my friend. Why can't you answer that question?
Hey, Sean, if you hold on a minute.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Read your text. See
Okay.
if it helps.
So, the door opens up, and the guy with the brown coat leaves. And as he walked past, he says, don't do anything stupid. There will be a carriage here in a moment. And he leaves. And the kid comes back over, or the kid was already there, that's right. So they came back, he said that to you. No, you asked the kid, then the guy comes out, says that to you, and he leaves, and the kid just kind of has this look on his face. From down the hallway, the door opens up, and the proctor and the praetor both walk out.
Just so you know, I'm not staring daggers at anybody. You know,
I didn't assume so.
I'm just very intent on what's going on, just so you know what my position is.
The proctor puts his hood up as he's walking down the hall, like towards you guys, puts it up and just brushes past without acknowledging your presence.
While I'm looking at the darkness that would be his face until I can't see it, you know.
The praetor then comes up and he says, you may retrieve your friend.
I immediately walk down. I walk down the hall.
Okay.
And
Okay, Mark, what do you do?
I go down the hall as
Okay.
well.
All right, so you go down there, and Ryse is kind of just sitting in the chair, and the manacles are like in his lap, but they're unlocked, and his head's down, and then he just kind of looks up at you, and he's got like a red face, as if he is emotional.
did you tell him what happened?
I was going to.
What happened?
We were interrupted.
Come on, we're leaving
What do you mean interrupted?
with permission.
Like how?
He says, "I'll tell you once we get out of
I
here."
take the manacles and I toss them to the floor and I help him up.
They clank to the floor, and he kind of leans on you as,
That's fine.
as you go
I
out.
take it and I help him. I move at his speed and we go out the door.
Okay.
Or as far as we go.
When after you get outside, the kid is like, "Hey!"
I stop.
And
What?
He's got all your stuff, and he's like, "Don't forget this."
Hey, Mark, grab that.
I grab all my stuff as well.
Okay. So now, and then he's like, "May the blend be with you.
Yeah.
Bye." And he
Hey,
turns and
hey, before we get out, I stop both of them, and I'm like, hey, I don't think this is going to go very well around town.
No, I
So
don't stop.
we
I'm
need
listening,
to
I
be
don't stop.
on the down low.
so you guys are outside. I guess that this conversation happens outside because I already said the kid brought he was in a hurry to get outside. So
Okay.
this happened outside.
I don't stop when you say that,
So-
okay, but I continue moving. I'm listening to you. And I say,
So
let's
we
get back to
need
the
get
end.
back to the-
Let's go back to the end right now.
yeah,
I
Yeah, we need to get
say that
back
to
there.
everybody in our group that's out there, and I continue to walk towards the end.
yeah, we need to get back to the end and lay low.
So do you
I
guys
expect
have any
there to be a
conversation
blowout.
until you get to the end? Because everyone's together now. So
Yeah, what happened? Ryse, what the heck happened?
I say let's wait till we get to a more private setting and give Ryse a chance to rest. He's been through something.
Does he need attention?
No, just
I
everybody.
need him attending now.
Please just wait. He's fine.
We
So-
don't want anything done in public,
Just
I'm telling you.
let's go back to the end and we'll go to one of the rooms and we will discuss whatever we need to discuss. But right now, let's just go to the
All
end.
right.
Please.
all right, I would like COVID to roll that D20.
D20.
Yeah, you're in a well-patrolled
Oh,
city,
oh, okay.
so there's much less chance of a random event. Okay, so you make it back to. I assume you're talking the Gilded Lion
Yes.
and not the
You'll kill
Stink
them.
Whistle. Okay,
Yeah, not that.
We have the rest of the week.
Yeah,
Okay. So
help him directly
you're
up to
there.
your room. My room.
okay, he seems very tired.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I set him on the bed. I help him. I said, here. I start helping him take his armor off. I said, this is our room. You're going to you need sleep. I start helping him take his armor off or taking it off for him, whatever. And lay him back in the bed. Throw a cover over him.
Plenty of room, Pick. Over in the other room, man. There's room.
Give us a little bit. I'll get with you in a minute, if that's all right. Mark, just throw my stuff right there, if you would, please.
I put it on the wherever he is pointing.
So are you guys in
How
the room
much
by
time has
yourself?
passed, Cobb?
Okay.
Mine and Pick.
Let's see. I'm gonna say 2 hours.
So,
Okay, so before we start this conversation,
Yeah.
do you guys do
That's all
anything
bad.
outside the room I need to be aware of? Let's start with Tamar.
I'm just gonna hang out wherever they're hanging
Okay, so what are you guys doing then?
I'm gonna stow my gear because I was all bundled up and geared up and ready to go adventuring. So I'm gonna take my backpack off and get out of my armor. If we're gonna let him rest up, we're not heading north today, are we, fellas? Might as well get comfortable.
Hey, I wouldn't take that armor off just yet. There might be something to do. I give you.
So that's always the case.
No, I mean there's like extra chance of case tonight.
Okay. Anybody else? Nothing? Okay. You guys here...
Unless Tamar, I'm sorry, unless Ryse needs my attention, I'll leave him be.
You guys hear heavy footfalls coming up the steps. And as you guys are getting ready to what you think is relax or whatever, you see 5 guys all having chainmail, short swords, daggers, crossbows, and they have the symbol of the man, and they say, "Sorry, we're late. If your friends are still here, tell them to get downstairs. We don't have all day."
I'm not sure I understand.
There's a banging on your door.
So the man is the guy who runs this place.
So I go over and open the door.
The whole
And you see
town.
a couple of them in their doorway. Others are kind of standing. Then you see these 5 guys dressed as I described, and they're like, "Get him up. Let's go."
Where are we going?
Where do you think? Unless you don't remember this symbol.
No, I do. I'm just...
I pick my backpack back up and I get my gear.
Hey, Mark!
Yeah, I'm here. I was ready. I was expecting this.
Grab my stuff, please. And I'm gonna carry Ryse.
Okay.
I grab his stuff and what I know and think Ryse might need right away as well.
As you like picking up all this stuff, the guy's like, "We're not here to kill you. The man just
I'm
needs
not
to
worried
talk.
about that.
That's all. You don't have to carry. If you want to carry all your shit, that's on you. We're not helping you, but that's not what this is about." So, I would suggest
I'm not worried about
I
you.
would suggest you get comfortable if you want to fit in. And then the guy
So
behind.
there's not danger?
No.
It seems like there might be some sort of danger. I misread the situation. I apologize.
Well, I mean, we're the most dangerous thing you're going to encounter today. So
Just leave the stuff there, Tamar. I mean, I grab my weapons, put back my sheet.
I mean, if you're trying to puff out your chest and blow up on people, then get armored up. That's fine, but we're not impressed.
I didn't know it wasn't you. I didn't know if something else was
That's-
going on.
that's
You were
okay.
sent here to help. However, I'll carry Ryse. Just make it easier on him.
Do you need help with him?
I mean,
No.
you know
We would
who
help
these
with him.
are,
I don't
right?
need help. Thank you, though. What?
This is the guy who gave us the job.
I know who he is. That's not what I'm...
All right, so you guys, is there any one of you that goes expecting a fight? In other words, are you taking your bow and arrow and all of your weapons? Tamar is.
I have my scimitar.
I have my armor on still. I never took it off. I have my weapons with me.
Okay, and you already realize where you're going, so you should know by wearing it that you're going to be at a disadvantage. So
I am...
So
just be quiet.
My 2 weapons are sheathed. On each side of the short sword, and I have my quiver with me. I don't have my shield. I'm carrying Ryse, and that's it. Ryse is not in his armor. We leave all that behind.
Right.
My backpack, all that stuff on.
Okay.
I asked Tamar when we leave, lock that door for me, and or actually pick I don't know. Whoever's got the fucking key, lock the door, please.
I think Pick has the key.
That's maybe so.
Okay.
Okay. So besides Tamark, is there anybody going expecting a fight? That's all I need to know.
I was carrying my scimitar.
If I had time, but it didn't seem like I did, I would have gotten my fine clothes on.
Well, I thought that you said you were getting rid of your gear, so
I did.
that would make sense.
But I didn't. If I had time, I'm in my fine clothes with just a dagger.
Well, you can rush and put on a pants and a nice clean shirt. So
I do. Okay, I get ready and
Not
I
an
do,
issue.
and I just take a dagger in my belt.
okay. So,
I can't rush.
So hearing nothing else, Tamark is the only one that is not apparently willing to. Okay. So
No helmet, no shield.
they're downstairs. They escort you into a carriage, something that you've all seen many times before, and you are whisked from the Gilded Lion.
Now this is the way to travel. See, guys, this is what I'm talking about. A comfortable seat,
You
no
avoid
walking.
the blended ward and go south through the Restless Ward and over to Elm Street and to 23 Elm Street in the townies.
Why is
and-
23 Elm Street ring a bell?
Because that's where Nightmare on Elm Street was.
Was it?
I don't actually know. I know it was Elm Street, but I don't know the number. But anyway, and as I said before, the townies is very nice and manicured lawns and stone walls, low walls that separate the homes, and there's lots of room for their farm animals and barns and guest houses and servants' quarters and all that kind of stuff. So you are escorted into the man's home, and up on the second balcony you can see the lady. And as she looks down at you all, she just smiles and acknowledges your presence, and you are entered into the door. And now you're in the foyer, a place that you've been before. And the man is there looking at a curious object. He does not turn upon you all entering the room, but instead says, "Look at it." And as you look, it appears to be a skeleton. But it's not moving, it's just still. And it's kind of like oversized, as if the skeleton of, say, a large humanoid, maybe an ogre or a gnoll or something. And what really catches your attention, however, is that inside the rib cage of this skeleton is a tiny moving skeleton, as if in a bird cage.
Whoa, that's fascinating.
He says, "It was the thing that you all didn't help me with the guard, but I'm not putting you down because
I see that you got your package
Yeah.
safely here.
you had a better job, and I understand that. Although I'm not so sure it was a better job now.
My apologies.
Better
Well,
job.
don't apologize to me. After all, you all are probably well on your way to figuring this out.
What?
At least you've taken that first step. You realize that there's an issue, and then he turns around real quick and looks at all of you, and
I'm still holding right.
then he kind of homes in on you guys, and he says, "Oh, please, he can relax over on the fainting couch."
I go to what I imagine is what he's talking about because I'm not sure what that is, and I
It's basically a couch that curves up at one end.
I go over to
And so-
what I think is what he's talking
Yeah.
about, and I make Ryse comfortable.
He says,
And I stand.
would anyone like any refreshments? I have newly stocked wine cellar, and I'd be more than happy to open up a bottle of Chateau de Gumblebee.
In Acronym, I say,
Well, thank you, sir.
Right.
That's a generous offer. I'd love a glass.
are you thirsty?
It sounds wonderful.
He's like, I could try.
I turn around and say, the two of us will have a glass as well.
And the man kind of walks over and looks down at Ryse and says, I'm sorry, I heard what happened to you. But dangerous missions sometimes end badly. I hope that
That's
you
a
can...
fact.
I hope that you can... Well, I'm not sure if that's the right word. Forgive the praetor for sending you an unqualified member of his flock? Were any of you hurt besides Ryse?
We're all hurt.
Yes, we were all hurt in some way, some extent.
Any permanent injuries?
No.
No.
I kind of look down and go,
Do you know,
I will tell.
was the proctor able to learn the truth about Flaggy?
Ryse kind of looks up and he's like, I'm not sure if he learned the truth, but he made sure that that could never happen again.
How's that?
He looks up at you and he says, he took her out of me.
What?
I didn't catch that, Cobb. What did you say?
Roll a d20.
Oh, I just couldn't hear it over the...
What?
I couldn't hear
I
it.
put my hand on his shoulder.
Well, that's a natural 20.
Okay, well you wanted you actually wanted a low number on this one. He says he took her out of me.
Okay.
I will pray to her brother to bring her back to you.
I'll just put my hand on his shoulder and tell him
His words.
that I understand.
His words were, sometimes you should lose.
So this is the price you pay for an accident?
He says, apparently so. The man says, I see, so you think that there should be no cost.
You don't take one's faith away. That's what he's done.
Why not?
Why?
If it's equal to what one has
It
lost,
was an accident.
tell that.
We were rescuing Flaggy along with all the others. Any one of us could have been hit by that trap.
That may be your position, but I'm not the one you need to convince. All I'm saying is your one point of view doesn't mean it's correct. And the fact that you can't get past the fact that something was taken from you, but you can't seem to understand how other people might react in the same fashion when something is taken from them, that's either a cultural thing or you're just immature.
See,
But once again, I'm not involved.
You're right.
my character seeing that this conversation won't go anywhere with me and him talking about it, I leave him with the win.
He says, but you may be asking, why did I get you out of there? Well,
I was curious.
You've done things for me, and so now the reverse is true. If you're thinking this man here lost something, we could have left and still been in the same position, that's not really true. You've uncovered the city's dirty little secret now.
You're right, Rick. You're right.
And there's a lot of people that know it. And then he looks right at Pick and he says, don't they? So he says, I've bought you some time if you want to leave and try to figure out anything else about these slavers. If perhaps along the way you might find a way to help him, you'd certainly be helping me. These wardens are corrupt.
I'm beginning to see that.
Doesn't everybody know that? I thought that was common knowledge.
Well, I would say by the way this turned out that that statement is false. There are certain individuals that know things, certain well-connected individuals, say, who enjoy spiders. In this particular case, I would say perhaps lean on their wisdom a little bit more. I don't know. Now, if you're wondering how I know about spiders and things, it's because I used to be in that. I'm not anymore.
Well, we knew that.
I'm not anymore, but that I wasn't going to give up my home. And the fact that you guys came from down there and then you made it up here using the power of 8, that was a happy accident, I suppose. But I have no interest in slaves. I have no interest in owning anything that's alive. And he looks back at the skeleton with the mini skeleton in it.
So you're saying, or somehow connecting the slavery that where we're from is welcomed by those that run the city? I'm not.
Not everyone. The ones that make money, yeah, they'll sell you out in a heartbeat. Money's a powerful
There's
motivator.
slave lords all over the area.
It just so happens that the one that's best connected with your people, well, you dealt with them. I haven't heard exactly what happened there, but you made it out alive, and from what I understand, you rescued some people. It's a shame that
We got lucky.
It's a shame that Flaggy had to die to complicate things, to put a fly in the ointment, but that's what happens when you get careless or greedy or you believe in things that aren't real or that make you think you're better than you are. And he stares at Ryse. And Ryse just fucking puts his head down. And whether I like the Proctor or not, he is powerful. He can do things, and the blend is real. So whatever little thing that you guys have from far, far away, it's far away for a reason. Okay? That whatever that was that the Proctor pulled out of him, it wasn't going to help him. It wasn't going to save him. I don't know anything about it. All I know is if the Proctor removed it, apparently he thought it was what needed to happen. Now you can go and try and get revenge on him if you want.
It saved him already, more than once. It saved me more than once.
Here?
It saved him here once already. It gave me the power to lift the block off of him and Flaggy.
That's very impressive.
You should have seen the size of the block.
You'll forgive me if I'm not impressed. Because otherwise you wouldn't be here now. What did that get you?
Saved his life.
Why are we here now, sir?
Because you
You
helped
must
me.
have beckoned us for a reason.
You helped me
Why
in
are
the
we
past.
here?
You helped me in the past. I'm returning the favor.
Forgive me for being ignorant. I don't understand how you're helping us now, and I'm not disregarding the fact you're helping us. I just don't understand. I don't see the picture. I'm sure it's just me. Could you help me to see the picture?
I'm not going to say out loud what you need to do. That's how you get people. That's how you draw things to you when you put things out there.
You say you're helping us all.
I am.
That's where I'm lost. I
Give
accept
it-
your
You
help.
have
I
a
just don't
job
understand.
for us.
Give it time. Just the same job. Find more slavers. Get rid of them. I mean,
We know there are multiples in the area.
if your ultimate question is why do I care if there are slavers or not, I'm just against it in general. It's not my thing.
Who do you know in Meslac that might be, do you have any connection there or knowledge of someone that could be a lead for us to follow?
Yes, my daughter. Have you forgotten?
I've waited Falco's contact and never heard anything from her. Last I heard, she had a messenger that was going to contact me, and it's never happened.
Well,
I assume she lost interest.
I assume that the messenger couldn't find you,
Perhaps.
but I don't know every messenger of every underground civilization either.
No, neither do I. I
But
thought I'm wondering though, a suspect, a person of interest that might be connected to the slavers more so than I don't think Helonia is.
How about the docks? Who's in charge of the docks? That would be an easy way to bring slaves in or out.
well, you're referring to the harbor master, obviously, and the harbor master. That would be for you to investigate. In case I'm not making myself clear, I guess I'll have to. I'm not going to say out loud what's happening.
Is the proctor,
This is good wine.
Is the proctor,
A slaver? No.
is he a good person or a bad person?
I would say he's a good person, but if you really want to know if he's a good person, you would have to judge for yourself. I mean, his congregation is loyal. He's viewed favorably. The religion is favored here.
Well, anyone with money and power can be viewed favorably, right?
If they have the skill.
Many of that.
It's the same thing
But-
with slavery.
But you would need, oh, you mean religion is slavery?
Be made here.
Absolutely. Religion is mind control. It's terrible. People should be in charge of themselves and not do
Well-
things because they're scared of what might happen to them when they die. You should do good for goodness sake if that's the way you think. Now, you on the other hand, you might want to do good if you want to change, but that's on you.
So do we continue with our plans to go and deal with Zonnegan, or is that something we're not going to do? I don't know anymore.
Well, he's definitely in the slave ring. I think he needs to be destroyed.
I would
Yeah,
say
because
this. Let me
The
say
land
this.
is cursed.
May I answer that question? If you get rid of that thing, you sever the connection to your homeland. Not personally, but as a conduit, as a way of doing business.
So I'm all for that.
So if that does not motivate you,
I'm all for that.
then forget about them. But you, by your own words, you apparently are against what that creature is doing. And it might provide closure for your friend, because apparently there's something there as well. The rest of you, I don't know what your plans are.
How much attention?
The creature must be destroyed.
I agree, but I don't think we're able to get it just yet.
Let me ask you,
I think we
Shadrach,
can.
why? This is going to sound like a stupid question, but please answer it. Why does the creature need to be destroyed?
It's evil, and you've seen it.
There are many evil creatures in these lands, and
It's responsible for Flaggy's death.
No,
It's debatable.
but it is responsible for mass slavery, and that's good enough to kill it as any.
No, I mean the
It
fact
tried
that
to
it's
kill
evil.
us and then tempt us. And you're alright with that?
It's evil. What do you expect it to do? If it can't... It will try anything and everything to turn us to its will, and if that doesn't work, then it will try to destroy us.
Then we must destroy it.
I agree, but I don't think we're just there
It
yet.
is a demon. It is filth.
Right, but can you send a 12-year-old boy against a demon and expect it to kill the demon? No, not unless it has some magical powers we don't know, and we're not at that ability yet. Oh,
Coward!
we should just go die. Oh, let's just walk to our death and die for no reason, and then it still
Let
didn't.
us go.
And
The man says, "Hold on, hey, I don't like loud
And let us
noises.
go.
I
Out of
don't.
fear.
I don't like loud noises. Lower your voices." And he looks over at Pick and he says, "I'm still waiting on you. I'm still waiting. You're the most interesting one here, Pick. Please speak up."
Whose attention do we draw when we deal with the slavers?
Well, whoever profits from it, whoever's job it is, certainly his government, I guess.
That can be
Oh,
that can be almost every ward within the city too.
My former government.
okay.
My government, when I was there, did not do this. Things have changed, and I will have no part of them anymore. I don't claim them.
I can believe that simply because you're an elf. And if you've been gone from there for a long time, things change. It wasn't so long ago that this place was ruled by a simple mayor.
The change started while I was there because they killed me to prevent me from passing on to Ryse a plot I had discovered to kill him because he was going to ascend to the higher throne. They have done the same to him after me. They although I was able to inform him with my dying breath, it was not sufficient enough to protect him from their blades in the end. She who they've taken from him is what brought both of us back and put us here, far away from that. Or maybe to run into this and help stop it. It is unclear why we are here, but we are here to do her bidding.
Ryse says nothing.
It's clear only that we're to do her bidding, and now for her to be removed from him is very, very troublesome to not only Ryse, but to myself. But that, I don't know how one... I don't know. I must pray on
Oh, and one other thing that I managed to do, I convinced him that there will be no ban placed upon you all for whatever it is that he was upset about.
Well, that is excellent news.
That is good news.
I was able to, how should we say, convince him that it would be in his best interests. Because deep down, I don't think he likes the slavers either. So, obviously you all can do whatever you want. I don't have any paying gigs at the moment.
We are safe in this town.
Your comments have confused me to no end.
We are safe here? In this town?
You're as safe as you can be for people that are playing with forces beyond your control.
I just mean, is there any differences from 2 weeks ago versus now?
Well, certainly, yes. You've done what you've done. Had you done that 2 weeks ago, maybe? I don't know when exactly you did whatever you did.
They didn't know then. So my point is...
Well, you're not going to be in any more danger from most people. There's always someone seeking to make their reputation. There's always someone that sees their profit margin go down. So I would assume that any one of these wardens might decide to do something about it.
But legally, we're all right in town.
Yes, absolutely.
Let me ask another question.
And then he turns the pick and he says, I'm going to guess that illegally you guys are in danger. Am I right?
More than they're willing to admit.
I've done nothing illegal.
No.
Guilt by association.
No. If let's say Grungild, who runs the Necro Ward, for some reason was really upset that you decided to poke your nose in his business. Theoretically, he has enough resources to find someone or something to do you bodily harm. That would be illegal. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. That's what I meant, handsome Reginald. Yes,
They're going to watch.
Oh, go ahead,
They're
Dick.
going to watch out for the 8. I'm just going to say, you have to watch out for the 8.
Well, I would say that you could probably get some help if you went back and talked to my daughter. Now, you said that you hadn't gotten information or talked or some messenger, what have you, but you know the way down there. And now that our little elven locksmith here is beginning to understand what he has, you might be okay if you're smart enough.
Will you allow us to access your
Yes.
dungeon to get back there?
Absolutely.
Well, that would be fantastic.
As long as Pick is with you, you have free access.
I have a question
Yes.
regarding this.
Go ahead.
What benefit would we receive from them who stand their ground to help with above ground humans being enslaved?
Well, no, I'm talking about if someone was to attempt to get a member of the 8 to do something. That's more in regards to Reginald's question.
Who are these 8? I don't know who these 8 are.
The 8 council members that run...
The wardens?
Yes.
The wardens? Okay.
The man's like, I mean, that's a bit of a stretch. I can understand how you would attempt to make that connection. No, I'm talking about things that move on 8 legs.
Oh.
Oh.
We ran into them before.
Did
Okay.
Drow?
They can be hired just like anyone else, and they have a very special set of skills. And unlike you, Tamark, who wishes to bring people back alive, they have no such compunction.
But aren't they wanting us right now not to be our friends? For us to go back down there, would we not start this incarceration all over again? Where has that changed?
That was my concern.
It's changed since my daughter has taken a liking to Reginald, and Pick is beginning to understand his connection.
I thought that's part of what got us in trouble in the first place. I may be wrong, but I
Your
thought
mom was pissed.
Sure, she's always pissed.
Yeah, but it's our mess.
Why do you think we're not together?
So, you have a outstanding going boon on slavers then all the time?
Not me.
Oh.
I'm all for stopping the slavers. I'm all for killing the slavers. Or bringing them to justice. Both and or whatever. There will be operating costs. I don't have to be paid to do it. There are operating costs that need to be covered by someone or something.
I'm sure I could find somebody who's willing to pay a contract on bringing in slavers.
Shad is visibly disgusted.
Why don't you, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a couple leads, but obviously you know where one is already. If you choose to go back there and attempt to destroy that thing, that'd be great. If you go down to the docks and you talk to Vigland, Vigland is the second in command to the Ogre Warehouse. I know he knows where one of the slavers is located, but you're going to have to travel to get there. It would certainly be, I think, an easier task. But normally, if one slaver goes down, another one pops up to take its place.
Makes sense.
Because there's always money to be made.
I have a rather important question to ask on behalf of Ryse. There were 7 teams sent out to look for him. He was found less than a day later. I don't know how many teams made up the individuals that brought him back, but what happens we run into one of these other teams and they see him? We don't have
There was 7.
We don't have a piece of paper that says he's free now. What
Well,
do we do
I would assume, and he looks at Tamark, I would assume the guild would know that that contract was
But how do you
completed.
tell your people in the field that are still looking for him that didn't happily stumble across him less than a day later?
That's for the guild to decide.
The question still stands. If they come across us and they want to fight us because they want to take him and they don't believe us, and we end up killing them because they think they're doing something under a warrant, but they haven't been informed because the guild can't get a hold of them because they're 2 days away.
Sounds like
What's-
that could be an issue.
That's why I was asking, what do we do? What happens in that situation?
Fight.
Maybe Tamar can answer that.
First of all, you're with me. I still have that contract. I can simply tell them that I'm bringing them in still.
And hope they believe you.
And if they don't, and they attack, then that's guild member attacking a guild member.
Which means what?
Which means
Well,
that
it's certainly
we come
frowned
back
upon.
and
It's certainly
Which means
frowned
when we-
upon.
That's if we come back.
What happens if a member of your guild kills another member of your guild? Anything?
Removed from the guild. First off, then generally they're found in an unwelcome place within the city with their throat cut.
I mean, not knowing everything about your guild, or even if you're a member of one, but let's just say for, I don't know, conversation's sake, that you are. I would guess that probably whoever made whoever the most money would probably be the victor of that argument, if it came down to it. Just a guess. It's kind of like how I said there was a pecking order in the city. There's a pecking order everywhere. So, but you might not, I mean, who knows? You guys are starting to become a real band of adventurers. You know, you might get a reputation yourself. Maybe these,
I feel like we're wandering aimlessly half the time.
Maybe these ones that want to make a name for themselves, maybe they need to be given a chance and put in their place. I don't know.
So,
This, all this attention we're getting is not doing good for me within the guild, if I were in a guild.
Correct. Yes, Shadrach.
All right. Shadrach walks out.
Okay.
I've heard enough of this junk.
So you just go outside and hang out on the porch there? Or?
Yep.
All right. There's that tree out there that you like.
I'll go sit underneath the tree.
Then go bang that tree. Go ahead.
I'm gonna bang that tree.
Go ahead, Tamar.
It's a banging.
So, how about I go to the guild tomorrow and find us a contract that'll make us some money so we have some operating costs and, you know, to do some of the more money. You know, we're going to have more stuff to go back and fight this creature anyway. So how about I do that?
I think we're ready, man.
I'm not signing any contracts.
No, you're not signing it. I'm signing the contract, and when we get paid, it'll come to me, and I'll give the money to the party. So
That's kind of, what if they send us off into some other direction? We got other stuff we got to take care of. I guess it's worth looking into.
I mean, we're not, I just don't think we're just there yet. I think we need, maybe we could find somebody who can send a message then back and tell them to bring it and leave it for us while we're there from the man's daughter here. Or maybe, if we're so lucky, he could get a message to her for us somehow. And then we would have that lead ready to go by the time we get back.
Indeed.
The man says, so, yeah, you guys have options. Option 1, go take down a monstrous slaver in a cave. Option 2, find out down at the docks about that next slaver. Option 3, go visit my daughter. You guys got all kinds of things you can do. Or you know what? You can do absolutely nothing. You can just take your money and go buy yourself a farm outside the city walls and find yourself a pretty girl and settle down.
Money is well spent. I don't think we have enough for a farm.
Pitt can go back to
But that
his locksmithing
stupid
job.
monster needs to die.
If you haven't heard, I've kind of lost that.
I'm sorry. Is there a chance you can get it back?
If I fall into favor with someone.
I see. Is this somebody that I know?
Well, I'm sure you know a lot of people within the city. But this fellow, I'm not sure if you do know him or not.
Does it have anything to do with your recent adventure?
No,
Wow, so you
this is something that
fucked up on your own, huh?
we were offered a job that we turned down to take your job.
What job was that? I don't remember another job being brought to the table.
Or, I told you all about it. You're going to make a lot of gold off of it. But that fell through, and then not making the Proctor happy, that tends to make people upset also.
I don't remember another job being brought to the table.
That was the one I didn't want to be involved in.
Yeah, you not remembering. You were drinking that evening.
That could be.
I'm going to walk over to the skeleton thing and look at it more closely and just be enamored by it.
Okay, so you head over there and the skeleton's like on the side of the cage kind of hanging there, and then when you come over its little head goes and looks at you, and you can see it doesn't have any flesh, just kind of the bones are held together by what appear to be yellowish white sinews, and it kind of, as you get closer, it kind of crinkles over to and comes over to the front of the chest and looks out at you and just is kind of still.
You're a strange little fella.
How close do you get?
Does it
I
bite?
stay about a foot away.
A foot? Oh man, roll a d10.
As he gets older, does it
6.
bite?
What'd you say, Tamar?
I say, does it bite?
Oh. So you can see the thing kind of tense up for a second, and you kind of quickly back out of the way, and you see it reach through the bone cage, and it just rattles its teeth. Reaches back in and kind of crawls down and sits down at the bottom of the rib cage.
Where in the world did you get this thing?
He says, well, you know, I'm a collector, and I got word that this was available at an auction in a far-off land of Tarlock. Apparently, there's a long story that goes with it. It's been through many owners. There was a necromancer in the desert, and there was a wizard that lived near Greyhawk, and eventually it fell into the hands of a traveling merchant sultan that made its way to Renals. So it's I don't know if it does anything, but it is certainly a conversation piece.
I wouldn't even know what to call it.
You know, that's funny. I was going to ask you guys if what I should call it.
Skell-Buddy.
You're the first ones that have seen it. He kind of looks over at you and he goes, no. No. Well, if you come up with a good name, let me know.
I'd say potentially dangerous.
Yes, quite exciting actually. Why do you think I've taken such an interest in you all? Perhaps I should call you guys the Skell-Buddies. At least I would know who we're talking about. And then he says, Ryse, I don't know what your plans are. I don't know if you're going to stay and try to continue on with your fight now that whatever is gone. But I can always use a good man-at-arms. So if you get to a point where you just either don't want to or can't anymore, you come see me. And Ryse says, a natural 1. He gets up and he's like, fuck you! Fuck you and the horse you rode in on! And he storms out. The man's like,
man, that guy's
a
nuts.
simple no would have been fine.
I say, I'm sorry, and I leave and follow immediately.
Okay. What do the rest of you do? Shadrach and Ryse and COVID are now outside.
So does Ryse come storming outside?
Yeah.
I asked him, is there trouble?
Like, fuck him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You see COVID come out next. He's
Trouble?
like, I'm going to kill that fucking guy. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. I rolled a natural 1. I'm going to make it my life's goal to kill him. I don't even care if you guys are with me on this.
Wait a minute.
I'm looking at Reginald.
Wait.
He fucking made fun of what happened to me. And he sided with the fucking proctor. And I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. And
Well, let's leave the city then. We don't need to stay here.
Let's go back to the inn. Let's rest. And let's talk about this with cooler heads in the morning. A lot has transpired in the last 2 days. A lot. And a lot today for you.
I don't work for this man anymore. I don't work
I'm
for
not trying to
anybody
sway you in
anymore.
any direction other than let's rest and think about it
That's
tomorrow.
fine.
And I go back to the inn with you. And I take you back up to the room and make sure you're comfortable.
Alright, so you guys inside, what are you doing? Anything else?
I just look at Reginald and I go, so, do we go see the daughter or do we play with spiders?
I think going to see the daughter will lead to playing with spiders. I think we should destroy the first slave lord that we've discovered, that we actually know where it is, and then move on from there. Sir, if you can get a message to your daughter, please tell her that I'm thinking of her and I would like to see her again.
For you, handsome Reginald? Absolutely. He says, now, well, I would feel bad for what just happened here, but I don't. So, I guess you guys are free to go. Not like I was keeping you here against your will anyway. I just figured
I appreciate the invitation.
you should know that not everyone here hates you.
It's always a pleasure.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate the open access to below.
He,
When the time comes, we will definitely use that path.
he walks over to the door and it opens up, and as you guys are exiting, he looks at Pick and he says, tell the weasel to drop by. I got some cheese for him.
Hey, name for that thing. How about
I just smile and shake my head.
Okay. What were you saying, Tamar?
So, how about for a name for that? The boned boxed bone.
Roll a charisma check with disadvantage.
Fuck, a natural 20 for one, and 12 plus 8 is 20 for the other one.
Okay. He kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and taps you lightly and goes, goodbye, and pushes you out the door. So as you guys are outside, the other three, well, I don't know, Shadrach, did you go with COVID or did you wait there? Can't hear you.
I'll wait for the others to come up.
Okay. So the other three come out. You see Shadrach there by himself. Covid and Ryse are not there.
Yeah, Pick, I think we should concentrate on destroying Zon again because, we've discovered him. We know where it's at before he can hide again. And once we do that, it'll release the curse that's been on the land up there and the water source. Then we can either go to the docks and investigate that lead, but I would like to see the princess again.
I don't think we're ready for that.
Understandable.
Log did implore me to find out who the slave lord was at Mesalak.
Probably.
But I'm scared to go there. Honestly, we got chased out. And I haven't heard anything. I thought for sure she just lost interest in me.
And I think we need a lot of gear to go back there.
I don't want to go back to a drow city.
I don't want to either, but I think we're going to have to at some point.
So as you guys are having this conversation, you're walking, I'm guessing, back to the inn?
Yes.
And though you're walking at a regular pace, Ryse is still weak, so you eventually, far off in the distance, you see Covid helping Ryse walk. He's leaning on him for support. And you guys can either catch up at your own pace or you can remain at a distance where you don't have to interact with them. That's up to you.
I don't mind catching up.
There's so many on.
I'll move as they move.
Here we come. Wait up.
Alright, so eventually you catch up to them. And Ryse seems agitated, to say the least, but he's struggling, so he's doing the best he can for whatever condition he's in. And I need Shadrach to roll a d20.
10.
10. All right. So you guys make it back to the inn without issue. And it is dinner time.
Well, how about that? That good berry I ate this morning is still really got my belly full.
Yes, for all of you that might have had a good berry, you're not that hungry.
Yeah, Covidians, you're really full. You ate 4 of them. Get your bucket load, dude.
Why don't you head upstairs? I'll go with you. I'll bring some up later if you're hungry.
He goes.
I go with him. Make sure he's settled. And then I'll come back down.
Alright. You guys all gonna hang out there in the common room of the Gilded Lion, or are you gonna go to your separate quarters? Ryse is already in the room he was in.
I'm going to approach the owner, I can't remember his name at the moment, but ask him, Norlands, hey Norlands, would it be alright if I took the stage for a bit and played some music?
Roll me a charisma check, but with advantage.
Oh, good thing I got advantage, because 1 is a natural 1, and my other is a 4, giving me a 19.
Okay. He says, do whatever.
Thanks. So I'll go over and pull up a stool and play a tune.
Now you went
Wait.
Now you went and pissed him off.
What?
I would like to cast a spell on you to give you a little enhancement to your performance.
I'm not going to grow claws, am I?
Now you got
Fine. Bless me with the healing of the nature.
I cast fairy fire on him. so he can turn down the lights and glow and play a song.
I do not need a microphone.
You're gonna have glowing neon now.
Yeah.
This should be worth something to get applause or money.
Sorry. Okay. So I get up and I play.
Okay.
Practicing and breaking in my new loot.
All right. So you play for a little while, and there's a few people, and then more people, and more people, and then right when you finish, the crowd's kind of like, "Yay!" Roll a proficiency check on your musical instrument.
Natural 20.
Oh, explode.
18.
So what's your grand total?
If I add my proficiency check to that 18.
Plus 20 plus 18 plus your proficiency number.
Okay. 38. And that gives me a 52.
52. All right. Pick, did you want to do something?
I'm going to take a gold coin and toss it up on stage and say, "Thank you, master musician."
Okay.
I take a bow.
So, 52. So, apparently, the fairy fire and Pick throwing a coin and you playing is so masterful. You pluck the strings like you're playing your favorite gal, and the dulcet tones of Jam Master Reginald R. fill the Gilded Lion until an explosion of females and panty dropping and coins dropping is so overwhelming that everyone is standing and cheering, and you get 35 silver pieces, 22 copper pieces, and 6 golden coins, including the one Pick tossed up there. You get 3 offers of marriage, and the bartender comes over and he's like, "Holy fuck, that was great! I think you need to play here tomorrow."
I'd be happy to. Thank you all. Thank you all. Man, I like this new loot. That's awesome.
I get 10%.
Here's 10 cents.
All right. So also though,
Special effects charge.
after people are done clapping and the ladies are like, "Oh, I'll see you later, big boy," all the stuff,
See you tomorrow, ladies.
all the runoff from Nikki Sixx, you notice in the back those 3 guys, the long hair and the big muscles, and they stand up, and one of them looks over at you and is like, "I hope your friend's all right." And the other one looks up at you and he's like, "You rock, Reginald! Yeah!" And they all leave.
Right.
And then they leave.
That man has good taste in music.
And that seems like a good place to end tonight's session.
But
So,
Maybe you play better with claws. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
That
how
worked
much
pretty
better
good.
he could play. Yeah, I don't know how much better you think he can play.
That was, I gotta say, I haven't played that well. Well, I mean, I always play well, but my goodness, that reaction was fantastic. I like this place. I think it's the new loot, man.
I think you should play in the city square.
Someday.
No.
stand on top of the roof and play.
Yeah, I'll put the fairy fire on you. I can suspend you in the air.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
You got an act here, man.
Reggie blows the roof off the place. Does anyone have any final thoughts before we say goodnight?
I'm glad that Ryse is okay. I mean, he's not 100%, but he's alive. We found him alive.
And I'll
Let's see if we can smack him
guys.
out of his coma.
Alrighty, unless something changes, we'll be back at it a week from tonight. Same Cobb time, same Cobb channel.
Thank you, God.
Good,
Take it easy.
good night.
Yay.
See you guys. So what? I don't know what. I never got to talk to him before he went, so I don't know what plans he had for his character while we were gone. Or, I mean, should I waste my time trying to convince him what we should do or to go with us or whatever? Or
Well,
is there a set plan that he's going to go do something else while we're gone? 'Cause that's the way it should be. I mean, I know he had something he wanted to do while he was gone, but I'm just saying I don't want to spend a ton of time.
Well, we had talked, and I said, you know, I can find a good place for your character to exit for a while. And then he didn't make it the last game, so it just kind of went up in smoke.
Yeah, he never called me or anything before he left either, and I asked him to before he left. I mean,
So,
the friend, he should have at least made contact. He didn't, and kind of pissed me off. But you know, some people are like that, and that's the way I chalked it up.
so I mean, when you eventually have a conversation with him alone, he's basically, I can't do this, and I need to just go, and I can't do this. So he's gonna, when I feel better, I'm gonna pack my shit and go, and it's nothing against you guys, it's
So then I'm going to
what
suggest.
happened to me.
I'm going to suggest go back to where I was living, and use my
Oh yeah, Yeah,
place as
okay.
yours until I return.
that's a good idea.
No one here knows where that is except you and I. What's
that's a
mine?
good idea.
What's mine is yours. I will pray every day. I will add you to my prayers, Nemesis, that she still try to. I will explain to her what has happened if she's unaware. I'll pray for her to come back to bring light to you. Still pray to her, so she knows you're out there. She should hear your voice. Perhaps between me and you, she might find her way back to you. I don't know. I don't understand how someone can remove her from you. She's a god. She's in your life. That should not be something that someone can remove. Maybe they only buried it. Maybe it's something that can fight back. So don't give up hope because of this idiot's doing.
If I just go away and maybe just get in a quiet place and try to reconnect.
It's very
That's what I
meditative where I was living. And he was there with me for a while before we headed in, so he knows the lay of the land around there. I also, I asked him, what happened to your, what happened to your shield weapons?
That's all. What happened to them?
Yeah, I mean, nobody gave them to us at the place, so I'm
I
asking.
guess I left them out in the woods.
What happened when you walked away down to the shoreline? What was going on?
I thought I saw Terminus.
So you were looking for him. I have no
And when I
doubt.
say I thought I saw him, but
It wasn't him. There wasn't
turned
even-
out there was nothing there. And then I got confused.
And then you just were stumbling back towards here, and that's when they picked you up.
I don't know, honestly.
They picked you up
I
less than a
tried.
day after they were sent out.
I don't know where I was.
Well, I'm just saying it was less than a
I
day
feel like
that they come back with you. So wherever you had to be close.
I was under some sort of spell.
I will give you
just don't know.
I will pick you up a shield and weapons at the market tomorrow. And anything else you need? Anything else you require?
Is there a way to get food there? I mean,
I have traps and snares, and I hunt when I need food. There's plenty of berries and other things to eat. I will supply you with enough food to get there, but you're going to have to... There's a stream nearby you can trap fish or crawdads to eat. I mean, you're going to have to figure that part out on your own.
Then I will.
Yeah, but I'll send you with enough iron rations and whatnot, and I'll collect... I will set you back up with what you need to go so you can be protected. Stay off the roads. Because I don't know how many individuals are still looking for you. They sent 7 teams after you. Tonight I seen another team that was here, so apparently they know it's over, but I don't know how many are out there looking for you or went beyond that, where the others found you, so don't be caught by them because they don't know. Just stay off the pass, and then I tell them everything I found out about the Akaramans and everything else. I tell them what my plans are. I'm changing colors. I don't care about where we're from anymore because they've changed. They're doing things I don't like. So I fill them in on all that night. So when we pick back up, I'll go shopping and get the stuff for them.
all right.
And then
Say goodnight. Bye.
and then we can play it from there when he leaves.